Hey, loves, I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and you are tuned in to The Lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We are streaming live on WordRadio.com and, of course, the free Word app available in the Apple app and Google Play stores. You can also catch us over on Facebook on Word TV. So if you haven't already, make sure you like both of the Facebook pages that we have popping. Of course, there's the station page at for Word, and then we have the Lounges page at the Lounge Word. So make sure you go over, you like, you share, you tell your friends, all of that good stuff, and your family that they need to become our Facebook fam if they're not already. And we appreciate you for doing that. It's currently 58 degrees in Philly with a low of 50 tonight. And look, just get ready, y'all. For the next couple of weeks, the weather is about to be a bag of tricks. Not that it hasn't been already, but we kind of going to some next level situation where temperatures are going to be as low as 24 degrees to like 60 something degrees over the next 2 weeks. And a lot of this is kicking off tomorrow. All right, it's kicking off tomorrow with the weather, with the temperatures dropping drastically over the course of the day. Rain, a mixture of rain and snow coming. So y'all hear me, I'm already a little raspy. My chest is, start taking my medicine and all of that stuff. But my weekend also didn't help. I had a really great weekend, so that's part of it. But just make sure you bundled up. You taking all your homeopathic, goodness, ginger and honey and lemongrass and all of that stuff, the hot teas, so that we can just try to survive this next 2 weeks, because I can't tell you whether it's winter or fall right now. It's anything, okay? But anywho, it's the top of the week of the lounge, so you know what that means. Money, motivation, and the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men, otherwise known as Man Crush Monday. Shout out to all of the men out there getting it done in these streets, from the block to the boardrooms. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you. And to our vets, all of you all out there on this very special day, the Lounge wishes you a happy Veterans Day. We thank you and your loved ones for your sacrifices and service to our country. And a few things regarding vets and Veterans Day. So first and foremost, the free stuff, right? Because free 99 is always a good time. So Wawa, I know they're offering all veterans, active military members and military family members, a free cup of coffee in honor of Veterans Day. So if you're still out here in these streets and I don't know, for whatever reason you need a boost like me, you can stop by Wawa and get your free cup of coffee. Dunkin' Donuts, they're offering a free donut at participating locations. If you want a little bit of sweet treat before you go to bed tonight or after dinner, go ahead, stop by there. There's no purchase necessary. It is limited to one per customer, but it's open to veterans and active duty military personnel. And then over at let me get my words together, Iron Hill Brewery and Restaurant, they're offering a free burger or sandwich plus a non-alcoholic drink to veterans and active military with either military ID or in uniform. And they also have another cool thing that they're doing where they're offering the chance to buy a veteran a gift card and personalize an ornament for its giving trees. Iron Hill is planning to match all gift card donations up to $5,000. So, if you and the family are maybe getting ready to go to dinner tonight, or I know this might be late dinner for some folk, but looking to find somewhere to eat, you might want to consider Iron Hill and, supporting a vet in that way through a gift card or, just saluting the vets who are there. So that's some of the free stuff that's going on. Second, some news related stuff. So first, on a national level, Black Enterprise reports that Facebook recently announced the launch of the Military and Veterans Hub, which will provide safety tips, job resources, and digital skills training. So they're also partnering with SCORE to match veterans with experienced mentors. And if you don't know, SCORE is the nation's largest network of volunteer expert business mentors. So shout out to this effort because according to the U.S. Census Bureau, to their survey of small business owners, there are 2.52 million veteran majority-owned businesses in the U.S. So listen, y'all know I'm all for entrepreneurship, small business ownership, all of that, and our vets deserve that. They deserve access to that kind of income, to that kind of lifestyle. And so whatever we can do to support them, to make sure that they get the information, the resources, and the support that they need to build the life that they want, that they've sacrificed and worked so hard for, that's our responsibility to them, right? Then on the local front, the former annex of Edison High School in the Fair Hill section of the city is now an affordable housing complex. It's called Edison 64. And so the property has been converted into a 68-unit veterans preferred housing development. And thanks to a grant from Comcast, they're going to have a tech lab. They're also, I guess what's also slated to be added is a kitchen, a community room where they'll have workshops and job training events and just wraparound services for veterans who live in that housing complex and those who don't. And so I just think this is pretty dope. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we need to be doing to support our veterans, right? This kind of affordable housing, making sure that we're helping to provide wraparound services in locations that are convenient to them, not just them always having to go to the VA or a place that may be too far, but to have that right there in the building that they live in, I think is awesome. So this is pretty significant because 64 students from the school, like when Edison was a school, they were killed in action during the Vietnam War. And it's reported that that's the most of any public high school in the U.S. Any public high school in the U.S. So far, I'm just learning about this, but I like where folks' heads are at in terms of creating affordable housing for vets, because homelessness is definitely a problem among the population, and just being underserved in general. So yeah, we need to step it up. We need to get innovative in how we're serving them. But if you want to learn more information about that, they have a number. It's actually right outside the building. It's 215-532-4545. Again, 215-532-4545. And that's for Edison 64, which is now an affordable housing complex for veterans. Veterans are preferred, but it was mentioned in the NBC 10 report that it's also open to low-income residents. So, but they prefer to really make sure all of those units are occupied by veterans. So again, just dope. And then third and last, we had a Real Talk Roundtable earlier this year that featured the wives and significant others of veterans. And so it just so happened that at the time of our chat, all of the ladies, their loved ones were all deployed. And so those stories and perspectives are something that I think on this day, especially, right, on Veterans Day, need to be heard. So when you get a moment, head over to WURDradio.com, check out the Word on Demand tab, and you can find that episode. Just look for The Lounge, and we have our Real Talk Roundtables. We have past shows up there, but take a listen to that because it's so important. Like our veterans are supported and just they're held up by their families, a lot of them. And so we also need that family perspective on that. All right. So those are the three things for the most part, or the three buckets, I should say, that I wanted to make sure I hit. So, the free stuff, the news related stuff, and then the word stuff, right? Stuff that we've been doing here. So if any of those, resonated with you or are beneficial, pass it along to somebody else, right? This is how we can help one, help each one, help another, whatever. So let's do that. Anyway, shout out to my guy, DJ Frosty Phoenix, here holding down the board, the phone lines, and everything in between. He's currently working those phones, which, speaking of phones, if you are a veteran or a veteran and you want to shout him out, call in. I'm shouting out veterans throughout the show, right? So the hotline number is 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. If you are a vet, if you know a vet, make sure, you help us do our part to show them love. Family members, whomever it may be, let us know who they are so that we can recognize them. And I have to shout out some of my own family members, my grandpa Amos Lawson, one of my cousins Antoine Shavers, and the father of my nieces and nephews. He served as well. So shout out to Sonny Penix, all men who served this country. But anyway, Frosty, what's going on? How was your weekend?
What's up? My weekend happened.
Okay. I don't even know what that means.
Let me see. Shout out to my mother and father for hanging out with them Saturday, which was a nice change of pace. I hadn't been out with my family in a while. And then Sunday, spent it cleaning.
Ooh.
Yeah, cleaning and cooking.
Just getting the space together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good Sunday.
Yeah.
Like where you can just kind of relax and do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. So I realized I never asked you, at least I don't think I haven't, or that I have. Who's your man crush Monday? You had to pick someone.
That's so crazy. I think I was just talking about this with someone about.
Like, do you ask a guy if it's if he has a man crush Monday? But I feel like he should, in fairness, yeah, why not? Because crush doesn't have to mean when when a woman asks another woman, or we shout ourselves out, it's in a non-sexual way. So why can't the same apply for men?
You have to actually refer to man law subsection B. Why can I say that out loud? So yeah, if I do, I will face these crimes and punishments.
Well, society, we got to get it together.
Right.
But who would be someone that you would qualify for MC?
I think
guy that you're like, salute to him.
So pardon me to say, I'll change man crush to man admiration. Sorry. It is what it is. I would definitely say, I think Will Smith has been killing it this year. Yeah, Will Smith had a great year. He's killing in general, but 2019.
Yeah, no. It's been
a year for him. Yeah.
And he talked a bit about what's contributed to that, like him just getting more comfortable in himself and kind of it sounds like getting out of his head about who he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to be like, and just kind of being himself.
And shout out to them closing out the filming of Bad Boys for Life, I believe.
Did they?
Stopped taping. So now it's in post-production.
Yeah, because it's dropping in January. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see that. I have a good feeling about it. I'm hoping it is all that I hope for.
Right, for sure. You and I bet the people that are invested in it too.
I mean,
yeah.
I think he's given a lot of people hope with just his Instagram antics in general.
Yes.
Yeah, the boy is definitely still funny. He's got this. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I guess my man crush Monday, I actually have two. Kevin Sylvester and Wilner Baptiste, who go by the stage names of Kev Marcus and Will B. And together, they make up the duo, Black Violin. So thanks to my Friday night outing, they're now on my radar. And so I'm making sure that they're on yours too, right? This is, again, tied to my weekend. So on Friday, we did a girls' night out with my mom and my daughters. We ordered takeout from Green Soul because reservations were completely booked. So we're like, you know what? We'll just order in and then leave from the house and ride share down to the Academy of Music to check out Black Violin, The Impossible Tour. So that's what we did. And if you're not familiar with Black Violin, it's a hip hop male duo. Those two, they're from Florida. They are both classically trained string instrumentalists. So Kev plays the violin, Will plays the viola. And these guys pretty much fuse classical with modern, classical music with modern hip hop, rock, R&B, and bluegrass. And of course, they're just this dope. So over the course of their career, they snagged up supporting spots on, folks' tours like the Wu-Tang Clan, Aerosmith, and Kanye West. And I know some of y'all roll your eyes, whatever. But nonetheless, whatever your feelings are about Kanye aside or not, that does not take away from the incredible talent that Black Violin is. And I learned that they were actually at the Merriam last October. And from what I read and now have seen for myself, I have no doubt that they had to have killed that show. But the way they set the show up, right, was really building it around their story, their love of hip hop, and training of classical music. And they detailed that how this one decision to pick up an instrument in high school end up taking them all around the world. And their message was really about overcoming stereotypes and building unity among all socioeconomic demographics and just, addressing the breaking down of cultural and musical barriers. So there was a tap dancing duo, a DJ, and a drummer who all joined them on stage for performances throughout the 90-minute show. And like, we really enjoyed ourselves. Mind you, my youngest is 10, my eldest is 14, I'm 31, and my mom is 61. And so we just like it, all ages, right? Different demographics, and we all enjoyed it. The guys worked in some of their original music, and then there was some Cardi B, and then they also had like the Imagine Dragons, right? And we're getting ready to go to break, so I'm thinking as we go to break, we can play you a little bit of their Imagine Dragons cover. But yeah, shout out to Black Violin. Their new album, Take the Stairs, that dropped on November 1st. It's currently available, so if you can support, you can just YouTube them and check that out. So got to take this break. When we come back on the other side, I'll give you the rundown for the show and some headlines. So this is Black Violin with their cover of Imagine Dragons' Believer.
If you want to start your morning with mindfulness, motivation, and inspiration, tune in to Daybreak with me, Helana, here on WURD Radio, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. I'm a health and wellness coach with over 15 years experience helping people to transform their lives. On the show, we talk health and wellness 360, from getting your mind right to getting your money right. So let's rise and shine together right here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial on Daybreak every morning.
At Dietz & Watson, we've spent over 75 years focusing on the details. This can be traced back to our founder, Gottlieb Dietz, who learned how to make franks and sausages the right way in Germany. Today, each one of our delicious offerings is meticulously crafted using perfected details. Because if it isn't good enough for our family, it isn't good enough for yours. To us, the details make all the difference.
This is WURD Radio, independent black media.
Keystone First, VIP Choice, HMO, S&P, and you are better together. If you live in Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties, and you have both Medicare and Medicaid, choose the Medicare plan that is working to help you experience better care and enjoy extra benefits at no cost to you. With Keystone First VIP Choice, you get more benefits like dental, vision, and transportation to and from your medical appointments. Keystone First VIP Choice also covers a fitness membership to a gym of your choice and $150 toward over-the-counter pharmacy items. There's no copay for doctor's visits. Keystone First VIP Choice offers a large provider network, a great prescription plan, dental coverage, and even eyeglasses. Plus, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. You can change your coverage every quarter. Keystone First VIP Choice. The name you trust, the service you deserve. Call Keystone First VIP Choice at 877-686-1760. Call today or visit KeystoneFirstVIPChoice.com.
Are you stressed from work and daily life? Are you lacking the confidence to become the person you want to be? Do you want to take your healthy lifestyle to the next level? If so, let's work together. Hello, I'm Helana, your resident self-care strategist. 14 years ago, I started my very own wellness journey, and since then have been able to help hundreds of people to regain control of their lives through yoga, meditation, and plant-based eating. If you want lasting lifestyle changes and to build healthy habits that will grow with you, text me your email address right now. I know you have your phone in your hand at 267-281-3890. Again, that's 267-281-3890. Text me your email address to receive your very own self-care guide.
WURD TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. WURD TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on WURD Radio.
got to show me if you want me to stay. If you want me to stay, baby, stop playing around with me. There ain't no time to play. If you want me to stay, baby, you got to show me if you want me to stay. Say you want me to stay, baby, stop playing around with me. There ain't no time to play. If you want me to stay, baby, you got to show me, baby.
That's Neo with If You Want Me to Stay. You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely, Sarita. Happy Veterans Day to all of the vets out there who have served and sacrificed for this country. And also shout out to those who are tuned in on Word TV. Malcolm White out of Mount Airy, I see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Malcolm is a U.S. Navy vet, and he comes from a Navy and Marine Corps family. So Malcolm, thank you for your service and thank you for tuning in. But it's Monday, y'all. So you know what that means at the top of the week. We like to talk money, motivation, and the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men, otherwise known as Man Crush Monday. Told you all a little bit about my weekend, more so my Friday night. And that's when I really got to experience black violence. So again, if you have not checked them out, definitely do that. We played a snippet of a song they covered by Imagine Dragons called Believer. So you got a little taste of that. If you wanted more or you would like more, you can go ahead and check them out on YouTube. I think their tour is still going, if I'm not mistaken. So wishing them all the best on their tour. Saturday and Sunday, really for me, was all about the family. Like Frosty, for him, Saturday was about the fam. That was pretty much my weekend as well. We celebrated an 80th birthday all weekend long, which included a party on Saturday and then brunch and dinner on Sunday, a seafood dinner on Sunday. Sat on the deck for hours, lit the fire pit out there and just like laughed and talked and had a good time, which is part of why I don't have my voice because we just really had a good time. But it was very, refill your cup-ish. And even with that, like today, I woke up just, besides the fact of being tired, but woke up and had to give myself like a little motivational push and did that a few different ways. I caught up on my sermons, took my hot shower, made sure I ate something, took my vitamins, just the little stuff that you can do for yourself, or seemingly little stuff that you could do for yourself. But in searching for some of my own motivation, I posed the question of the day, like, what's your motivational message or quote for us this week, right? Like, we can pour into each other. So that's what I want to know. Like, hit us with your motivational message or quote for all the folks in the lounge this week. Call in 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. Over on Instagram, Chase the Waist said, focus on the finish. Focus on the finish. Shout out to @ChaseTheWaist, who's reminding us this week to focus on the finish. Shout out to Soroya_Marie. She said, don't let this ish make you fold. 10 toes down. Stay 10 toes down. I know that's right. Somebody, depending on what lifestyle you live in or which demographic you fall in as far as generations are concerned, that's basically just saying, stay solid, stay standing, stay focused. So shout out to those two for chiming in. And then, of course, we got our folks over on Facebook. I'll be sure to share a bit from them as well. But also want to make sure that I give you the rundown for tonight's show, because we got like all the doses of motivation that's coming to you by way of black men. So first and foremost, at 7:45, though, I'm going to take a slightly deep dive-ish, which is really just kind of going to be me on my soapbox a little bit, about this Harriet Tubman film. And it's really just going to be a word to those, or about, I don't even want to say to those. Just toss something out there in the bucket for those who are of the perspective that say we shouldn't let our children see it. Mind you, I haven't seen it yet. Like I said, this weekend was crazy for me, so I haven't seen it yet, but it is on my bucket list to see. And I've been seeing a lot of social media debate and commentary about it. reviews, all that good stuff, which I appreciate and love. But I know, like, when I go in there, I'm leaving all that at the door and just kind of taking this in for myself. But this idea of not letting the kids see it is kind of interesting to me. So I want to talk a bit about that. But from there, we'll move on to a major field of motivation this Monday from Black men. So at 8 p.m., first up, we'll have Brandon Davis, who joins us to discuss his journey of being a dreamer and building an entire platform and business specifically for the dreamers and doers of the world. Brandon is the founder of American Dreaming. It's a consulting agency on a mission to bring inspiration and innovation to every dreamer in the world. And then at 9 p.m., Donnie Manziel and Malcolm Hill, who are friends and creators of the podcast Disrespectful Motivators, will be on. They're on a mission to help you stop BSing and be great. Okay, simply put, that's their tagline. I mean, the BSing part, they actually say the whole thing, but but they're on a mission to do that. So we're going to chat with those gentlemen tonight, and you as well. You're always in this conversation. And just FYI, in regard to Harriet Tubman, we actually have a onWURD membership special that's going on right now. So if you start or renew your membership with the station during the month of November, you'll get a perk. Right, you'll get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book, She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. You may remember we featured the author, who is a noted historian and scholar, Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, on our Struggle in Progress panel, which happened earlier this month, the first of this month, actually. And so this really just provides a unique opportunity for you to support independent Black media, and so many of you already do. I think the goal and the hope here is to get more folks engaged, right? To get more folks supporting this. And so you can learn about the life and times of one of our greatest leaders. And you can do that by joining the onWURD movement today and getting your free copy. So for more information, you can go to WURDradio.com. You can also call 215-425-7875. Again, 215-425-7875. And let them know Sincerely Sarita sent you. When you call in, let them know, Sincerely Sarita told me about this offer y'all got going on. When I start to renew my membership, I get a free book. Let them know. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we got a caller on the line, Brother O'Kane out of North Philly, wants to chime in about Veterans Day. Hey, Brother O'Kane, welcome to the lounge.
Yes, my sister Hotel. Many blessings and peace to you and to your family. Just thankful for the day, 11/11. Veterans Day, yes. And what I'm really concerned about is now the homeless veterans. That, and see, these politicians really should, I think, really should be speaking about that, because homeless veterans, that really hurts me.
And understandably so. It should hurt us all. I mean, you have folks who have given, the greatest sacrifice, and can't come home to a home, can't come back to their homeland and have a home. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Now, who you saying is going to be on at 9 p.m.?
So at 9 p.m. we have two gentlemen, Donnie and Malcolm. They're friends and they're creators of this podcast. It's called Disrespectful Motivators. And they're on a mission to help folks stop, quote unquote, BSing and just be great. That's what they're helping. They're helping folks to do, putting their own little sauce on it.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to try and tune in, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, thanks for what you're doing, many blessings to you.
And the same to you. Absolutely. All right, loves. Want to make sure I bring you a couple headlines. So first, this is an FYI for parents and caregivers out there. K through 8th grade scholarships are still available for the 2020 school year through Children's Scholarship Fund Philadelphia, also known as CSFP. So that's Children's Scholarship Fund Philadelphia. And CSFP provides 4-year need-based partial scholarships to quality tuition-based schools. So according to their website, they are set to distribute 2,000 new scholarships this year. 2,000 new scholarships. So if your family is interested, You should apply online before the priority deadline of November 15th. Right, so 4 days. That's about what you got right now. But you want to apply by November 15th because that will give you the best chance to win your spot in the lottery. This is a lottery-based situation. So applications are free and they're available online. So you can go to csfphiladelphia.org. That's csfphiladelphia.org. That's an FYI for parents and caregivers out there. If you're in need of a partial scholarship, some kind of financial support, because you want to make sure your child is in a quality tuition-based school, you definitely want to check out Children's Scholarship Fund Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the family of an 11-year-old boy who was shot in the chest today in West Philly is now mourning the death of their child and their young loved one. His 19-year-old brother is now in police custody. The young boy and his brother were home alone, apparently, when this tragedy happened. The police report, the older brother went door-to-door knocking for help, trying to get help after the shooting occurred. And once a neighbor came with assistance, he fled the scene. The elder brother fled the scene. He was picked up a short time later by the authorities, and so it looks like now that he's in custody, police are working to determine if this was accidental or intentional. As you all know, there have been a string of shootings and killings involving children here in the city. Less than a week ago, a 10-year-old boy was shot in the head while walking home from school. Thankfully, he's expected to survive, but police are still looking for the gunman. I believe that was the last I heard of that. They're still looking for the gunman. Both of those incidents, these two I just mentioned, right, are on the heels of two others that happened a couple of weeks ago, which left a 2-year-old girl deceased, an 11-month-old fighting for his life. These are our babies, y'all, like literally our babies. We cannot continue like this. And I think everybody feels it. I think everybody knows it. But that's not enough of us. I truly believe we're going to have to get innovative in the way that we address this gun violence epidemic. Are we saying epidemic yet? I don't know how far does it have to go? Is this a health issue? How far does this have to go? A crisis? I don't know. Where are we drawing our line at? If you want to chime in, I know this is heavy for some folks. You may need to get some stuff off your chest. By all means, please do. The hotline number is 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and we'll be back after these messages.
Get your money straight.
Get my money right.
With Solomon Jones and Akbar Hassan.
Fridays on Wake Up with Word.
7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Hosted by Solomon Jones. Exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Looking for an exciting new hotel in a fabulous location? The Cambria Hotel is the place. Located on Avenue of the Arts, this hot new location features modern, stylish guest rooms for that special staycation or your next out-of-town guest. Wind down for a delicious bite at the Trouble and Bass Lobby Bar and Restaurant or Philadelphia's #1 rooftop lounge, Attico. Looking for meeting space? Check out the Cambria's beautiful ballrooms and catering services. The vibe is upscale and never uptight. Book now and save with our special promotional rates. It's the Cambria Hotel, where everybody is somebody. Visit CambriaPhiladelphia.com.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875
or visit wordradio.com.
After October 1st, 2020, you'll need a Real ID driver's license or photo ID card or another TSA-approved form of ID to board a domestic flight or enter certain secure federal facilities. Getting your Real ID in Pennsylvania is quick and easy. Just gather up the required documents and bring them to your local PennDOT Driver License Center. Visit PennDOT.gov/RealID or call 717-412-5300 to get started.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
it's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
or on Facebook at forward.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
They don't wanna say I'm falling for you. They don't wanna make this any more real. Just another song for the broken hearted. Cashmere tears, baby, I'm in my field. You know just how to get me started. Didn't they say this love ain't too real? You will never catch me broken hearted. Cashmere tears, baby, I'm in my. Whoa, I like that, hey, I like that. Woo, I like that. Emotional times, emotional life. Emotion, ocean is colder at night. Disposable crime, I mean, you know what I'm like. Not the sociable type, unless you pass in the light. You wanna leave us sativas, but baby, smoke what you like. I'm a brother with options and any flavors of vice. Need to make it a vibe. Crimson color, you wine. I take my rum with the spice. I've been in love with your mind. Never speak on my feelings, came with a couple of demons. Now you can take it or leave it. I'm more than done with the lies. Sure you heard that before, but you quick to ignore. Till you see the decor, then you peep the decor. I'm such a similar story. Cinderella with borders. Fell in love when I met you, but knew I couldn't afford you. Ooh. I like that. Could've when I met you, but you was keeping it cordial. Eh? They don't wanna say I'm falling for you. They don't wanna make this any more real. Cashmere tears, baby, I'm in my. Whoa, I like that. Hey, I like that.
Yo, it's Julian King, and you listen to The Lounge on Word Radio.
And baby, I'm scared too. I know they say that I shouldn't, but baby, I fear too. What man won't do, what you won't show. Got the world on your shoulder, but lady, who hear you? No, who hear you? Not another in sight, don't need another tonight. Do away with the lights, your decision way more. I'm a Libra tonight, never quick to decide. Then you dip to the side, I go trouble a vice. Try and pick me a fight, try and push on every button, tell implosion inside. But I know what you like, plus I came with a vibe. Ain't no fooling me twice, ain't no rolling the dice. Say she love me, the Navy until I'm ripping the thighs. Like, baby, give me a try. I didn't need a disguise. Didn't love a lust. Oh, what a surprise. I be stingy with trust. Couldn't name me a price. They don't wanna say I'm falling for you. They don't wanna make this any more real. Just another song for the broken heart. Cashmere tears, baby, I'm in my. To get me started. Didn't they say this love ain't so real? You will never catch me broken hearted.
Koji Radical with Cashmere Tears. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. And I told y'all when we came back around, 7:45-ish or so, that I was going to take this semi-deep dive into this Harriet Tubman discussion, right? But more so just touching on what I have seen it produce at this point, the film produce, which is... few different debates going on, but one that I'm seeing growing is whether or not children should go see it. If for anything, really because of the question of historical accuracy, right? And I've just been seeing a lot of folks saying, don't let your children see it. Like, just flat out no. Children should not see this. and understanding and hearing why, you know, because of that. First of all, just the fact that our children have already been exposed to so much misinformation when it comes to our history, right? The history of our ancestors, and the feeling that this film did not accomplish, you know, any kind of historical, or could have been more historically correct. Let's put it like that. Now, I said earlier, I have not seen the film yet. So I'm speaking purely from a place of watching what this film is producing, the kind of conversation that it's producing. And as a parent who has always strived, like, to really do my best to teach my children to think for themselves, to be leaders and not followers, it rubbed me wrong to hear our kids should not see this at all, like at all, especially as a mother of Black girls, right? Knowing that this film was produced, directed by a Black woman, knowing that Black women were all up and through this, that it's about a Black woman, and mind you, if you're not familiar with who produced this, but her name is Deborah Martin Chase, right? And she's been the producer behind the Princess Diaries, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, the Cheetah Girls. She has television credits that include Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, the one that starred Brandy and Whitney, and the list goes on and on and on, right? And so at bare minimum, it struck a chord being a mom of Black girls, right? But even deeper than that was the assumption, or whatever it may be, that our children can't be given the opportunity to think for themselves. Like, can we agree that critical thinking is important, right? And that it's going to be in our children's best interest for them to be able to form their own opinions. I've found what has been most effective for me as a parent is not necessarily trying to shield my children away from everything, or shelter them away from everything, but actually guiding them through it, actually exploring with them their train of thought, challenging their train of thought when need be, exposing them to other sides of the argument or the equation, or maybe them exposing me to it. Like, that has been productive discourse. That has built relationship and trust between us. And no, that doesn't mean everything is always perfect, but is it not possible for our children to see this movie and say, oh, okay, well, this is how this artist chose to portray this movie or this story. Now, what does history actually say? And let them critically think about why she took the approach that she did, why the team took their approach that they did, to go out and find those interviews, find those find the commentary on it, and determine for themselves. Like, let us not spoon feed them what we think or want them to believe. That's the only part of this, honestly, that has really, really struck a chord with me, because we're talking about young people, which means we're talking about our future. And so if we start building young people who don't listen to opinions and artistic views that don't sound like theirs, and they shut it down, we got that's part of our problem now, which means we then produce the nightmares that we're living today. That doesn't help anybody. So to say, no, they shouldn't see this at all, maybe it's not that they shouldn't see it. Maybe we just make sure that if we're going to take the kids, let's actually have an event where they can learn about the full story of Harriet Tubman. Let's make sure that they got the education behind it. I can go to a movie and know that, oh my gosh, that could never really happen. Why? Because I've lived enough life, or I have enough information that I can put it into context. I can try my best to see it for what it is. Just saying, just my thoughts. I got some callers on the line. Maurice out of Southwest Philly. I think he wants to chime in on the Man Crush Monday, or Man Admiration Monday, as Frosty says. Whatever floats your boat. Hey, Maurice, welcome to the lounge.
No, you can keep it crushed, because this person I can say crush, you know what I mean? Because I'm sitting up here with my chicken salad and grape sandwich, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I'm chilling. I'm using my no sodium salt, you know.
All right.
Mayonnaise, I'm using grapes to give it some flavor.
Got you.
I know how to do that, okay?
Okay.
Mine is Cody Anderson. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be into talk radio like I am.
Got you.
Like my aunt, who was, I think, one of the oldest members of URD, was 102. And she used to call up every day. And the last 2 years of her life, Cody Anderson made it a pledge to show her the attention that a queen needed in her older age. He would come visit her at the nursing home, not just show up, stay the whole time, like her birthday and all that.
Yeah.
And he also guided me when I lost my sight, you know, into talk radio. And he's always been a legend. But, you know, I don't think he gets the credit that he do, because we wouldn't even have URD if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't tell that story, that, you know, him and the owner sat down. He talked the owner into buying this station. And a lot of people need to know the history. But as far as the movie, I want to get into that, too. A lot of people don't want to watch the movies because the parents are cannot accept what they see, because a lot of them are not educated enough to understand the history of Harriet Tubman. See, we live in an age now where you can't be a victim. You always got to win. You always got to be tough. You know, I remember when Roots first came out, I used to hear a lot of the young boys talking about, man, I never picked no cotton. They could never do that to me. I said, they could do that if they got a razor blade next to your children's throat. You'd be picking all the cotton they asked for. But see, they don't think that way. You know, like a lot of people like power, but they don't realize that the lead person in power is really the villain. But they think of him as a hero. And this is how our mindset is today. So, you know, if you want the people to actually take kids to see Harriet, you got to have somebody actually sit down and explain to them about what black history is. Because a lot of these young kids have no idea what real black is. They don't know that they come from something.
Yeah.
And they got to understand that we came a long way and we can keep going a long way. But, you know, only the enlightened listen to URD. So we got to understand that. Most people don't listen to URD like they should. You know, they listen to mainstream media. Like today being Veterans Day, if you watch TV today, you would think there never was a black veteran because they never talked to any. So these are the things we always got to keep in our mind. That's why I try to get as many young people as I can to listen to this station, not just one show, all the shows, because they need to take in different perspective from everybody's point of view, and maybe they can find something they can snag onto. And that's why I listen to you all the time, because you know when me and you first started listening, all I wanted to talk was politics.
Which I respect.
We went through it on one day. But you know what? You beat me down because, you know what? I actually saw your point of view. And I was like, yeah, well, everybody can't be like me. And you know what? I constantly call because I can't be in everything, but I pick up both. So I'm going to leave right now with that.
All right. And you are one of a kind, and I appreciate you, and I'm glad our relationship has grown. Not you tune in every day. Can I take one more call? You want to go to, okay, because I know we got Araminta on the line out of West Philly who wants to chime in on the Harriet Tubman conversation. Hey, love, thank you for calling the lounge. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. So what's your thoughts on it?
Okay. Now, I'm a grandmother. I've already seen it. I lived to see it. I'm not a moviegoer, but I wanted to see that. I've adopted her as my grandmother, so much so that my children thought they were related to her.
Wow.
One of my grandchildren is named Araminta. Okay. It shouldn't be an introduction to them. You know, our children should know about her. She's our superhero. She's real. They watch all. Look, they probably went to see Black Panther. I haven't even seen that yet. That's not real to me. That's like science fiction. But she's a real person. Okay, it's a movie. It's for entertainment, but it's about a real person. Okay. they should know her. They should know her well. Should know her. They should love her. They should try to understand her. It reminds me of, I heard about this, the grandmother who was upset because her grandson came home and said they didn't have school the next day. And so she said, why? He said he didn't know. She was upset. She said because the teacher didn't teach them why they had off. It was Criminal Columbus's Day.
Mm.
Okay? When you had a teacher should have told him, but he should have known. That starts at home.
Yeah.
Why didn't she tell him?
And it does start. I definitely agree. It does start at home. I think what's important for us to always keep in mind is that there's privilege even in Black history, even in knowing it, right? Because it's not something that we were so widely taught, like it was intentionally kept from us, stripped from us. We got to be real about the number of folk who don't really know our history, right? Like we're still learning and unlearning who we are. So even then, when we say it starts at home, we got to make sure that we keep in mind that there are a lot of homes that were deprived of knowing our actual history. And maybe that's where our efforts need to be at. And how do we bring Black history to the home? Like, does that need to be a nationwide, city by city initiative, block by block initiative to make sure that we're doing our part as a Black community to bring Black history to the home? Because we know they're not serving it up like they should in school. And we also can't rely on movies and works of art to do it. But that doesn't mean that we stop both of those things because they're not fully doing it, right? Like we gotta pull all levers on this. And so that's why my stance on this is in terms of our young people and saying, no, don't take your kids to see this. Well, why are we denying them an opportunity to develop a perspective or an understanding or some kind of exposure to the history and pairing that with the actual facts, right? Because we know no movie is ever going to get it 100% right, period. That's just not happening. There's always going to be a flaw because it's through the eyes of a human being, which means it's automatically flawed. So it's a piece and parcel. We got to do this thing together. We got to work both sides of it. Maybe that's the journalist in me, where I was trained and taught that, you got to try to remain objective at all times. Doesn't mean you can't have an opinion, but you got to be more solutions based and also be mindful of censorship, right? So when you're telling folks, don't show your kids this, like you're telling them to censor in some way, which, when you're talking about mental health and that kind of stuff is very important in protecting our children, our young people, and whatnot. But like for the reasons, that reason solely of historical accuracy is why we shouldn't let young people see that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I think there's a bunch of different ways we can go about it. Even if we were to do a screening, like I said, and have folks who can speak at our young people's level on the facts of her life and pair that with what they just saw. That might be more effective. And then we can have a critical thinking based conversation about art versus reality, art versus real life, right? That's all I'm saying. Anywho, got to take a break. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters, don't miss The Source. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Word Radio, WordRadio.com, and the Word Radio app.
JD's Auto Body and Painting is Philly's premier paint and body shop. So stop by for your free estimate and get your 10% Word discount today. They're located at 6300 Wayne Avenue. Give them a call at 215-848-5949 and visit them at JD's Auto Body and Painting Inc.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Nick inviting you to buy your next car through Jerry and the fellows over at Cardex. See, they're not dealers. They're like a car concierge service. They design a car around you. Almost any make. If it's not on the lot, they'll go out and get it for you. So use my car concierge, where I've already bought 4 cars. Cardex at 116 East Glenside Avenue in Glenside, Pennsylvania. Check them out online at cardexinc.com or call Cardex at 215-886-3230.
Keystone First, VIP Choice, HMO, S&P, and you are better together. If you live in Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties, and you have both Medicare and Medicaid, choose the Medicare plan that is working to help you experience better care and enjoy extra benefits at no cost to you. With Keystone First VIP Choice, you get more benefits like dental, vision, and transportation to and from your medical appointments. Keystone First VIP Choice also covers a fitness membership to a gym of your choice and $150 toward over-the-counter pharmacy items. There's no copay for doctor's visits. Keystone First VIP Choice offers a large provider network, a great prescription plan, dental coverage, and even eyeglasses. Plus, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. You can change your coverage every quarter. Keystone First VIP Choice. The name you trust, the service you deserve. Call Keystone First VIP Choice at 877-686-1760. Call today or visit KeystoneFirstVIPChoice.com.
Now, with more clarity, this is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wordradio.com. Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that first and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped. Landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a lisp like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. So we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And the way he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. So come and skate with me, just a rebel looking for a place to be. So let's kick and push and coast. My man got a little older, became a better roller. Yeah, no helmet, hell-bent on killing himself is what his mama said, but he was feeling himself. Got a little more swag in his style. Met his girlfriend, she was clapping in the crowd. Love is what was happening to him now. He said I would marry you, but I'm engaged to these aerials and burials, and I don't think this board is strong enough to carry two. She said bow, I weigh 120 pounds. Now, let me make one thing clear, I don't need to ride yours, I got mine right here. So she took him to a spot he didn't know about, some odd in the apartment parking lot. She said, I don't normally take dates in here. Security came and said, I'm sorry, there's no skating here. And so they kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And the way they roll, just lovers intertwined with no place to go. And so they kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. So come and skate with me, just a rebel looking for a place to be. So let's kick, and push, yeah, and coast, yeah, yeah.
That's Lupe Fiasco with Kick, Push. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. And we just, had a conversation about Harriet Tubman, the film that's out, and some of the debate around it, specifically this question of should kids go to see it or not. Most folks, it seems like, are asking that question or rooting that question in the fact that they're reporting historic inaccuracies in the film, and that's dangerous for young black children. And so I've shared what I thought about it. I know it's Man Crush Monday, but we had to touch on the Harriet Tubman stuff, y'all. But I want to take a moment because we have a caller, so I want to take that call, but I also want to shout out the folks who are tuned in over on Word TV. Shout out to Carlos. He said, don't panic, Carlos Gibson is in the house. He said he has seen the movie about Harriet Tubman. He says it's a must-see. Shout out to Sharon. She's listening from Chicago. Chi-Town, what's up, y'all? And Tammy, hey, Mom, Delaware in the house. She says she saw Harriet 3 times. Children have learned about her in school since the beginning of times. The movie brings her to life. So let's go to the phone lines. Carlos, he actually is calling in now out of Nicetown. Hey, Carlos.
Yeah, I have seen it. Now, as far as it goes, what is this debate about kids not going to see it? What? Is there something in the movie that the parents don't like that they want the kids to see?
Well, it's not even parents at this point. I'm seeing a lot of black academics, blacks in academia, who are saying that there are a lot of things in the film that are not historically correct about her. And so because that is the case, and she is such an important figure in our history, children should not see that because of the historical inaccuracies.
Okay. Well, it's some scenes in there that is kind of defensive. So you have you seen it yet?
No, and that's what I said earlier. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh boy.
I haven't seen it yet. Now I know there are scenes that are graphic in it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even that's not even what I was hearing as far as why it wasn't.
But here's the story with me. I have missed about when I got there, right? They got it. I went to the one down in the gallery. It just opened. Let me see. When I got there, I missed at least about 15 or 20 minutes of the movie. But other than that, they did kept showing how she kept remembering things, how from her childhood when she was beaten as a child and stuff. And okay, I'm trying to be a spoiler.
Yeah, I know. That you can't give it away, but
it's kind of defensive by the black guy, how he, how he like a Judas, and then he goes and be on her side. He started out as a Judas, and then there's another black guy who, he was evil. I put it this way, he gets killed. 2 different black guys in there. It's deep. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, no. Listen, Carlos, thank you for calling and chiming in your thoughts. And I did hear that was one of the folks I follow on social media mentioned that was one of their criticisms of the film was how black men were portrayed, and that she had a lot of black men in her life who did support her, and that this film didn't do the best job of that. So. Like I said, I haven't seen it. It's on my bucket list. I'm aiming to try to make that happen this weekend. But that's why I was specifically only touching on that point about whether or not kids should see it solely because, or should not see it, I should say, solely because of the historical inaccuracies. Because there is violence in there, right? Like, it's not a G-rated PG. I don't even think it's PG-rated film. So... like that in itself is a whole nother thing. Like there are folks who are saying specifically because of the historical inaccuracies that kids don't need to see this. So speaking of Harriet Tubman though, FYI, this month we got a really exciting membership offer. If you start or renew your ForWord membership during the month of November, right, and we're 11 days in already, you will get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book, She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. This is written by noted historian and scholar Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, and it's really just a unique opportunity for you to support independent black media and learn about the life and times of Harriet Tubman. So, if you're all caught up to date on your membership, pass the word along, right? If there's someone that you feel like could benefit from reading a book like this about Harriet Tubman, consider gifting them a Word membership. Not only are you giving them history in the form of this book, but then you're also giving them access and making sure that they can enjoy independent Black media, that they can have that VIP access to all WURD events, that they can enjoy Forward member only events, and all of these other benefits, these perks that come with Forward membership. So, whether it's a young person in your life or someone who may not really be familiar with the history and life and times of Harriet Tubman, this could be a gift to them. Start that new membership for them and let them enjoy this gift, right? Share the wealth. Anywho, gotta welcome my first guest of the evening. He's been patient as we've been chopping all this up. But one thing is, Harriet Tubman was a dreamer. She was a visionary, but she was also a doer, right? Like she was set on freedom, on her people. And so Brandon Davis is joining us today to discuss his journey of being a dreamer, building an entire platform and business specifically for the dreamers out there. And he's the founder of American Dreaming. It's a consulting agency on a mission to bring inspiration and innovation to every dreamer in the world. But he'll tell you more about that. So Brandon, welcome to the lounge.
Oh, thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I was wondering how that transition was going to be from Harriet Tubman to me.
It was pretty good. We got it done.
Definitely was good.
We got it done. So I told folks a little bit about you, but in your own words, let them know who you are, what you do.
Brandon Davis. My specialty is probably marketing. I went to Temple University for marketing. I started a magazine back in 2007 called American Dreaming, where we highlighted up-and-coming entrepreneurs across the country in hopes that their story would inspire, inform, and instruct other entrepreneurs or people who was passionate about something to go out and pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
From there, we also opened up the Dreaming Building, which was a space that we had on Front and Spring Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, where a lot of people came.
Dreaming Building.
Yeah, it was fun times. But we had like a lot of events there, and that served as like a place where people could come in and they had ideas for events or wanted to sell a book or sell merchandise or anything like that. It was a place for them to go there and turn their large passion into a small business.
So curious to know, because event space is that's a big hustle. I don't want to say hustle, but I see a lot of entrepreneurs getting into that space of buying property, renting it out, just kind of making it available, making it in a community space.
Right.
You've been on that curve, like with the Dreaming Building. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on more folks, and especially young Black entrepreneurs and Black entrepreneurs in general, starting to get into that?
Oh, I think it's dope. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we started, we went into it with, again, to inspire somebody to go and do something. So, people came in there and people had ideas like, oh, if I had a space like this, I would do this and do that.
Yeah.
And for us, that's why we wanted to do it. It was something that we was going to do for, a long time. We had a lot of different ideas that we wanted to implement, so that was one of them. And I'm glad people have been able to, use the idea as inspiration in order for them to go on and start their own and probably do it even 10 times better than we even did it. And I think that's dope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll continue to, come up with different ideas and hope that people take them to the next level. So then we go on to the next thing.
What inspired you all to do that? I mean, is that something that you had seen, or was it just like a part of?
Well, with the magazine, we used to have like events at like Derek's or Derek's Restaurant on Manayunk or in the Piazza somewhere. And one of the things people always used to say when they came into the events was like, I love the energy in here. It felt like How to Make It in America, the show. And what we was always mad about is that we always had to leave the spot, at the end of the day when the event was over, and we left like all that energy in that place. And then that got me thinking, like, I wanted a place where we could just keep this energy in one place. And that kind of like started the idea for like the Dreaming Building.
Yeah. And I went to multiple events at the Dreaming Building. Shout out to City Fit Girls. I remember they did their City Fit retreat there. Shout out to Leah Kaufman. I know she did
her first Rad Girl
Award.
Rad
Girl Awards there. I think I was a presenter at that one, or maybe it was the second one. But yeah, I just remember seeing so many creatives coming in and out of that space, and even in the magazine.
Right.
And then I saw it seemed like an evolution
Right.
of American Dreaming. So talk a bit about how it's evolved from that magazine that it once
Right.
was to where it's at now.
Well, the goal with the magazine was to get more people thinking about following their happiness or whatever made them happy. And that was the goal of it. And then we seen a lot of people starting their businesses, pursuing their dreams, you know, goals and aspirations and things like that. And then we created a space where they can actually, you know, exercise, you know, that dream or that passion. And we kind of evolved now into, since so many people are following their passions, we kind of evolved into more of a services and offering services to those people with those businesses and different things like that.
Yeah. I just was thinking about these pink lips. Like I remember
Right.
learning about her through
Right.
you all, like
Right.
through a lot of what you all were doing. So with the consulting agency now that you all have, and this marketing mind, this mastermind that you are,
Thank you.
what's it been like to kind of shift gears and be on this side of American Dreaming?
Well, the funny part is, I always wanted to be on this side. You know,
okay.
on this side, because I'm more of like, I like to be behind the scenes. And just because of how the magazine was going and the building was going, I had to be like in the front a little bit. But I kind of like this side of it, is being more behind the scenes and just being able to put like my clients on and the people that I work with on to like new things, and making sure that they got the tools and the resources that a lot of the big companies have. You know, being able to bring those to them and allowing them to implement it in their businesses in order for those to grow. And that's kind of like the role that I always wanted to play, because my first company that I started when I was in Temple was a marketing agency. And I was having a problem trying to get clients because they were like, well, you don't have any experience. Even though you got some good ideas, you don't have any experience. So then I was thinking that I need some experience, and how am I going to get that experience? So then I was like, well, I feel as though I believe in myself enough to know that I can build up a company. So let me build up a company myself. And American Dream and the Dreaming Building, that's kind of how I started those.
Yeah.
As almost like a case study for my marketing agency. But then those started to take off, and then I got, you know, lost in those. And then now I had the opportunity to get back to what I originally wanted to do, was having a marketing and advertising agency.
I'm so glad that you're sharing kind of this journey, because I'm thinking about, you know, being a college student or even someone who's trying to break into a field, and one of the first things you hear is you don't have experience.
Right.
You're like, well, I'm trying to get a job so that I can get the
Exactly.
experience. Like I'm looking for the opportunity so I can build my experience, but no one wants to be the first.
Exactly.
Right? Like they don't want to take that risk. And so for you to say, well, I'm gonna just let me build my experience. Let me take control of that. I think it's so dope.
And that was the premise of the magazine, because it highlighted up and coming dreamers, but it was also created by up and coming dreamers. So the writers, the graphic designers, exactly, the writers, the graphic designers, the photographers, the stylists. This was their first opportunity working with a real magazine, and our real job with the platform was to make it as real as possible. So it went from just being an online magazine to being an actually printed magazine. Because what we wanted to do is get rid of that thing, so, you know, that thing of you don't have experience.
Right.
So these people who were just starting out in these fields, then when they go, again, because it was never supposed to be a place where you stay. It was all supposed to be a place that you grow from and you grow apart from. So when they went in to get their job at the Nylon magazine or the different magazines that they coveted growing up that they wanted to work at, they could use this real magazine as a place that they started, and they working with a real magazine.
The receipts.
Exactly. Here go the receipts. And our only job was to make it as real as possible and make it known and make it as known as possible. So when they put it on their resumes and different things like that, then you didn't have to have that conversation. You could have a conversation about what you can actually bring to the table to another company or organization.
Got you. All right, loves. So we got to take a quick break. But if you're just tuned in, I'm chatting with Brandon Davis. He's founder of American Dreaming. It's a consulting agency on a mission and really getting it done to bring inspiration and innovation to every dreamer in the world. And so we're going to learn a bit more about his journey with being a dreamer, building a platform, a business specifically for the dreamers and doers of the world. So stay tuned. You're in the lounge on this motivational Monday, Money Monday, Man Crush Monday, all that good stuff. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters! Don't miss The Source. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WURD Radio. WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app. WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. WURD.
WURD family, listen up. Tuesday, November 12th, join WURD for Sassy Seniors. Broadcasting live from the West Oak Lane Senior Center located at 7208 Ogontz Avenue. We're calling all our sassy seniors to come out and join me, Dr. Aaron Smith, the rapping professor, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sassy Seniors is an event honoring our seniors and providing fun, food, resources, information, and more. Halana Warren from Daybreak with WURD will also be there with chair yoga and mindful meditation activities. Sponsored by Oak Street Health and United States Census. See you Tuesday, November 12th at the West Oak Lane Senior Center from 10 a.m. to noon. Sassy Seniors!
Listen up, WURD family. This month we have a really exciting membership offer. If you start or renew your 4WURD membership during the month of November, you will get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book, She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. We featured the author, noted historian and scholar, Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, on our Struggle in Progress panel earlier this month. This is a unique opportunity to support independent Black media and learn about the life and times of one of our greatest leaders. Join the 4WURD movement today and get your free copy of She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. For more information, go to wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
WURD TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at 4WURD. WURD TV. Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on WURD Radio.
Girl, I paid the door. Should've loved you more. Should've loved you more and more. I feel it every day. So much pressure, baby. I'll be there tonight. Tell me if you still love me, baby. Too late for me to change your mind. Just one more time. It's too late for me to try to get you back. If I long and remember, just like that. I made it so complicated, and now she's jaded, 'cause I procrastinated. I never meant to do her wrong. I regret that it took me so long to see that I was hurting my baby. I think I'm getting faded. You see, I took her for granted, and I couldn't have planned it much worse. Sugar, I gotta know. But is it too late for me to change your mind? I was hoping I could see you, baby, one more time. Is it too late for me to get you back? You just like that. Is it too late? Is it too late? Give me a try, give me a try. Is it too late? Is it too late? Give me a try, give me a try.
You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. That was Noel Gordon with Too Late. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. It's Monday, top of the week, so you know we like to talk motivation, money, and the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men, also known as Man Crush Monday. And I have been chatting with Brandon Davis. He is the founder of American Dreaming, which is a consulting agency that works to bring inspiration and innovation to every dreamer in the world. And Brandon and I were just talking offline about like this idea of being a dreamer. Of having a dream, and what that looks like, you know, walking it out, walking into your dream, building your dream, etc. But one of the things that I had mentioned, and why I wanted to make sure we touched on this on air, was because I do feel to a degree millennials have had the blessing and curse of being able to dream, right? Like, part of it was a necessity. Let's just keep it 100. Like, generations before us, for the most part, the message was go to school, get a good job, you know, go for the security, right? Like build the security, the stability for your family. And with that also came the responsibility, to a degree, the burden of having to be the first in your fields, of having to break those barriers, break those glass ceilings, and you know, just bear the burden of institutionalized racism and like all these different layers that comes with being a black person in America, right? And so I can recall multiple conversations I've had with my elders about how like there wasn't this affordability of being able to dream. It was like, I ain't got time to dream. I got to take care of my family. I got to fight the man. You know, I don't have time. I can't go after my dreams right now. And then fast forward, I'm now seeing a lot of my elders, you know, 50 plus, going after their dreams. Like, I'll never forget when my mom, you know, started her daycare. And if I'm not mistaken, she was in her 50s when she did that. And I remember at some point making a comment to her about like, well, you could have been to that. Like, why you wait till you was 50? Looking back, like that's an ignorant comment to make, right? Because it completely disregards all the work that she put in to give us stability and security, which she did above and beyond, right? Like went and got that master's and was making those 6 figures and, you know, working to change the institutions that she worked at from the inside out for the black people and people of color and women that were there, right? Like she was on a mission. She was working the other side of dreaming, right? And so, you know, just knowing that as millennials, yes, we've had to become dreamers. Like that's been a big part of it, but that's also been a privilege, right? And that's also been the beauty of this. And Brandon, you have an entire platform dedicated to dreamers and to dreaming. But you said like you weren't always a dreamer. Like,
no, it's crazy too. And talking about like our elders, that was always a frustration point with me and my parents. Because my dad was like, you know, he was raised to go try to get a good job, raise a family and all that. And then when I wanted to start, you know, this company, it was always, you know, one of our pain points with him and my mom. You know what I mean? So I be in my room trying to build this company off on the ground, and then I get an email from my mom, and she forwarded me like a job opening.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I used to take it personally because I thought she didn't really believe in my dream, you know, that I had. But then when I started to practice a little bit of empathy and I put myself in their shoes, and I realized that the way they were raised was a lot different than the way, you know, I was raised. And I know that was their main focus when they were growing.
Right.
And we had to have the conversation, and I told them, like, you know, you guys put in all this work for me to try to be able to outdo what you did. You know what I mean? And this is how I'm going to do it. And that became like a great meeting point for us both. And practicing empathy and putting myself in their shoes and understanding how they came up is a lot different from how I came up and how I'm now seeing the world.
And that's a powerful moment. My mom and I had kind of a similar moment.
Right.
Just in the course of building a Sincerely Sarita brand, and you know, with that came struggle, right? 2 kids and all of that. But, you know, I remember her just stressing, like, the importance. You know, you need a 401k. You got to put into your Social Security, this and that, this and that. I'm like, I'm building a business, Mom. Like, where's the faith? Like, you got, I need space. Like, you give me time to do it. Like, that's not where I'm at right now. I can't. I got something in me that I need to bring out.
And it's dope because you probably inspired her a little bit too to then go for it. You know what I mean? Because now my pop talking about getting into real estate, and he want to start pursuing stuff like that. And again, his main thing was just, you know, working his years to retire and do all those different things. You know, I was already set out to be. And then now he's thinking about some different routes. And I like to think that, you know, we both played a part in that, because some of the stuff that he was telling me, like getting a 401k and having those things, are definitely things that I need to be thinking about as an entrepreneur. Right. You know what I mean? And what I was telling him was things that, you know what I mean, he could take to the bank too. So I thought it was a great, like, back and forth, and I think we can learn a lot from you know, our elders, and I think they can also learn a lot from us, and it's a vice versa thing, and it's a mutual respect that we now have.
And I think that's
for both
where it starts.
Exactly,
it's the respect piece and that empathy.
Right.
Empathy is so powerful, y'all. It's so powerful.
And we so used to like wanting to disrupt everything, but it's some traditions that we should also keep in place and honor as we disrupt other industries and different things like that. So keeping on to some of those traditions and some of those things that they had back then, you know what I mean, and thinking about those as we go on and be innovative.
So like what you mentioning when you were younger, like you really didn't have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur.
Oh, not at all.
So how did that even come about for you to not only go from not having any kind of dream of ever, you know, becoming an entrepreneur to I'm becoming an entrepreneur and I'm creating a platform for dreamers.
Right. I wanted to be like, what's the name from Boomerang? You know, I wanted to work at like a marketing agency, be the top guy at the marketing agency, and live that kind of life. But then, so I was in school, then my brother was killed in 2003. Yeah. And then that got me thinking way different. And then I decided while I was in, my sister was very inspirational and linking me up with her fiance at the time, who kind of was like my mentor. And he had started the Stomp the Yard step show tour. So dope. He took me in, and I seen him building that whole step show tour out of his mom's basement. Wow. And we got to travel all around the country. And I remember one day he just got to deal with like Boost Mobile, and we sat around the computer, and we was waiting for the money, the sponsorship money to hit like his bank account. And then, you know, having those experiences and seeing like, this came from an idea in his head. He wrote it down on some paper, turned it into like a pitch deck to this thing that we all actually working at and people are interacting with. Yeah. And that really inspired me. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start like a marketing agency, you know what I mean, based off of that. And, you know, since then, is you know, again, it was never like really a big dream of mine
Yeah.
to, you know, have my own company.
But just being exposed to that
Being exposed,
experience,
right, exactly.
right, then opens up and expands the mind.
Right.
You mentioned your brother,
Right.
and I've said it before and saying it again, like always love and healing to you and your family.
Appreciate that.
When you're looking at like Philly right now,
Right.
especially being a black man in Philly, but at this point it could be a man, child, whomever. It seems like open season. What's your thoughts on like the gun violence that we're seeing, and like what the city and particularly young dreamers are up against right now?
Right. The crazy part is I started the Rick Foundation, and the mission of the Rick Foundation was to assist in the process of making young adults' dreams a reality by streamlining information, resources, and experiences directly to them. And that was the mission that I wrote in 2007. And the Rick Foundation was created because I wanted to create something for my brother, you know, in his remembrance, but also kind of to combat gun violence. And what I seen and when I was studying like a lot of nonprofits is that a lot of nonprofits have their mission based around like the reaction, you know, gun violence. But we never really deal with I was in science class and they said something about for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. And I think that a lot of nonprofits combat the reaction, but they never deal with the equal and opposite action that caused the reaction.
The reaction.
You know, and then I remember the Nas song, I Gave You Power, and he was talking about a gun. And I know that a lot of people from my neighborhood, you know, walked around with guns and stuff like that, but I never felt the need, even though we in the same neighborhood on the same block, I never felt the need to carry a gun. And I thought, like, what does that gun symbolize? And, you know, from the song, I Gave You Power, so that equal and opposite action that happened was a sense of feeling powerless. And I know what being an entrepreneur did for me and how it gave me power and dominion over my life, you know what I mean, or domain over my life. And that's why I was so adamant about people discovering entrepreneurship, you know, with the magazine, and that's why I was a big advocate for it, because I know it gave me power in my life.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of like, for me, that was my answer to like gun violence in the city. And I think what you see is a lot of kids who just feel powerless over different things in their life, whether they can't keep their dad at home or whatever's going on inside of their houses, and you see kids just acting out and grabbing for any sense of power or, you know, or domain over their life. And I think if we offer them some real opportunities for power and gaining power over their life, I think that, you know, we would see like a different city. But I don't necessarily think a gun, because I mean, we can't get rid of guns.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we
Although some folks would like to, but
yeah, but you gotta get rid of the
that's
need to feel as though that you need one. You know what I mean? And I think that's the real thing we should be trying to solve and figure out.
Yeah, it's that makes me wonder how good of a job are we doing as a community in instilling a sense of empowerment in our young people? Like, it's just making me think about this conversation I just had with my eldest daughter today. At her school, they only teach Latin.
Right.
And she's like, a lot of the students feel like, why are we, first of all, this language doesn't even get used anymore.
Right.
Why are we learning Latin when so much of the school is Latinx? Like, if anything, can we learn Spanish, right? And so the way it was explained to me was, it's not necessarily about the use, whether or not the language can be used. It's about
understanding the English language a little bit more. Because I took Latin in high school.
Even the kind of thinking that goes into learning the language, and that can be taken and applied to other areas, and that there's a certain, because of how the Latin language is structured, there's a certain way of learning or understanding it that goes hand in hand with it, and that's what they're holding on to. And so, you know, she and I have talked about this, and I looked at her today and I said, well, join student government and do something about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you can petition to change this, but you got to position yourself. In order to petition, you got to position, right? Like, so if you join SGA, and she was saying, you know, it may be a little too late, but I'm like, all right, well, then start volunteering. Like, start with where you can. Get the lay of the land, not only, because she's a freshman, not only in high school, like how it works, how they're running the school, but how SGA works. And then come next year, campaigning And make that one of your campaign promises, that we are going to petition and we're going to engage parents and engage yada yada yada, have conversations about, like, come with a game plan.
Right.
Like, but we can't just have complaining and no constructive criticism and no action. Right. So even having that conversation with her about what I'm hearing you say is that you feel powerless.
Right.
You can do something about it.
Exactly, and I think that's a beautiful conversation that you're having with your kid, because then that's the start of something. Then you never know where that goes.
Go.
You know, you know what I'm
they
saying?
might come and she's like, "Well, this is what you taught me to do, Mom."
I mean, she might be running for president, you know, in 2036 because of that. You know, you just never know where those conversations, and just having that one opportunity. Like, again, my first thing I tried to start was trying to be a rapper. You know what I mean? But I wasn't successful at it. But because I started to learn about, that I could just go to Sam Ash and buy all the equipment. I could set this up in my room. I could make a CD. You know what I mean? It made me understand that these ideas that I have in my head aren't so far-fetched, and they're really not that hard to do once I put my mind to it. You know, and find out the information. And I think that allowed me to continue to go on and do other things. Yeah. But it was because of that one thing that I tried to do and I failed at miserably. You know what I mean? It allowed me to go on and do other things and not be really scared to fail. Because sometimes, I remember, what's the name was saying, fall forward. You know, you fall forward and you continue to fall forward into the things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the truth. All right, loves, look, taking a quick break, but I'm chatting with Brandon Davis, founder of American Dreaming. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to, 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. What were you taught about dreaming? Do you still have dreams? Are you working on living out those dreams? Right? Like, call to join the conversation. Would love to hear from you here in the lounge. Stay tuned. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and we'll be back after these messages.
Reality Check. Reality Check. Hosted by Charles Ellison. Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Right here on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com.
Wincoat Wellness is changing the way the world ages by redefining home care. Wincoat Wellness makes it possible to achieve independent living through companion care. If you or someone you know has a loved one who is in need of home care services, the enrollment process is seamless. Give them a call at 215-277-5914 to begin enrollment with their dedicated team or home care associates, and before you know it, you'll be receiving care. Call now, 215-277-5914.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation? Follow us on social media using the hashtag onWURD. Be heard. Stay connected to Word Radio. Independent Black Media.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Listen up, Word family. This month we have a really exciting membership offer. If you start or renew your 4Word membership during the month of November, you will get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book, She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. We featured the author, noted historian and scholar, Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, on our Struggle in Progress panel earlier this month. This is a unique opportunity to support independent Black media and learn about the life and times of one of our greatest leaders. Join the 4Word movement today and get your free copy of She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. For more information, go to wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at 4Word. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
sometimes I'm noble. I'm from the most risky zone, no place is more shifty global. More pistols, Russian revolvers. We shoot and all that is normal. But it ain't just because we want to. We ain't got nowhere we can run to. Somebody please press the undo. They only teach us the things the guns do. They don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets. They don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets.
Rock, you know my era. B-boy seasoning, salt, pepper. Grown and sexy, come with the extra. Crushed up linen, fly like Cessna. This type groove, I gave it birth. Now it's time again to give it a verse. Jamaican born, not a fan of the ganja. Clear vibe, Brooklyn to Somalia. Hear them goes in the background. Player, that is my sound. The green doesn't symbolize I made it on the top. Pioneer legend and they call me Mr. Rock. No B-word or N-word, I don't need those words. Respect for hers, the game dried up so we coming to Greece. Leading you right and treating you right, so peace.
Don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets. They don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets. Superman, I'm known by the locals. Altitude is so fly is global. Attitude I came out of struggle. This to do, but I make it hopeful. You real, but my real is tenfold. My real to make yours a rental. Gangsta if it is essential. Fight with guns or utensils. So poor, nothing's confidential. Breakfast was not continental. And lunch could not compliment all. We still become competent souls. These streets ain't paved with no gold. Matter of fact, someone sold the light pole. Nobody fat enough for light pole. They don't teach us to read and write, so they don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets. They don't teach us the ABCs. We play on the hard concrete. All we got is life on the streets. All we got is life on the streets.
You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. Shout out to DJ Frosty Phoenix. Took us back a little bit. A little bop. All right, I'm not mad at it. Listen, it's Monday, top of the week, Motivational Monday. And it's definitely been a motivating conversation that I'm having with Brandon Davis, founder of American Dreaming. If you don't know, American Dreaming is a consulting agency that works to bring inspiration and innovation to every dreamer in the world. And so we've been chatting a bit about Brandon's own journey of being a dreamer, and definitely just exploring a few different facets of this. But Brandon, at this point, when you look back at the journey you traveled from, when you first went to try to launch your marketing agency at Temple while you're still, a college student, to where you're at now. What would you say to that Brandon back in college that was trying to do this thing that you're doing now?
I think it's like my new mantra that I came across that I've been using for like the last 2 years now is all flow, no force. I think in a lot of situations, because I was just like, well, what I learned now is that a lot of that was fueled from my hurt with my brother's death.
Okay.
So I was kind of bullish with everything that I was doing.
Okay.
And, not just allowing I was just, super, relentless with my pursuit, and not sometimes taking time back to step back and get like a perspective of like what I'm doing. So then I found myself just dealing with what was ever in front of my face.
Yeah.
And and sometimes, like they say, like a fly in front of your face is bigger than an elephant down the street. So sometimes just being able to step back and not just being on the go, taking care of myself, and all those different kind of aspects, and just getting lost in the pursuit of, following my dream. So I think the best thing that I learned is all flow, no force.
Yeah.
And everything that I do, and giving myself the time, focusing on my health, you know what I mean? And all those different kind of things that you kind of like put by the wayside while you pursuing, whatever you're passionate about. And also like the people around me. And I realized that my main investment that I made into anything that I did was my time. And as a business person who's looking for like return on investment, the return that I should have been looking for is getting time back to like spend with my family, you know, cultivate, you know, personal relationships, you know, spend more time with my niece and different things like that. So over the last 5 years, that's kind of like what I've been doing is like, you know, taking a lot of my time back that I invested and getting that back and being able to, you know, cultivate the relationships that I was letting fall by like the wayside while, you know, I was locked in, you know what I mean, and getting in that locked in mode. I think that's like the biggest takeaway I got over all these years.
Yeah. It's fun. You kind of reading my life. I'm like, yep, bullish. I was about to say, you a tourist? Because I'm a tourist. When you said bullish, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. Once I set in on that focus, I'm just like, red. That's it. You going towards it, you charge. Tunnel vision.
And that's the thing that I learned is that like, and that's why I changed like our tagline for American Dreaming, because it was like the pursuit of happiness. And then you know, probably back in like 2014, I changed it to the pursuit is the happiness. You know, and just having this ability, and that's why I want a lot of people to pursue, and I'm an advocate for people pursuing whatever makes them happy, because what you learn as you pursuing is that all the things that's happening on the journey is the real happiness, and not like the end goal, because the end goal just means that it's all over.
Right.
You know, but having the time, everybody's talking about being lasered and focused and dialed in, but you don't get an opportunity to look around, look up, you know what I mean, and do all these different things. And I think that's what I learned the most, is being able to appreciate, you know, the fun times that you have, you know, the people that you meet, the people that you interact with, and all those different kind of things, and the little milestones that you pass, and being able to really take them in and not just focusing on what's the next thing, you know what I mean, that you're going to do, and just really soaking it in, and all the things that happen.
So what's going on with American Dreaming now? We like to do shameless plugs because I gotta get ready to let you go. But we like to do shameless plugs and stuff. So like, what work you got going on, or how can we support you in American Dreaming?
Well, right now it's just I'm doing an agency, so I'm working with different clients and stuff like that. We're launching a new platform called the Rim Stage, which is going to be helping e-commerce platform, which is going to be for up-and-coming designers and makers across the country, where those people converge with consumers. And then we're going to be helping them sell a lot of products by just simply telling their stories and providing a platform for them. I'm working on a TV pilot, kind of based all around, you know, pursuing your happiness. But it's kind of based loosely off me, but it's about a young African-American male who's trying to just focus on business. But being an entrepreneur, you got to focus on all the relationships and all the different things around you, and managing those more than the actual business. So dealing with all those different, and like we was talking about, generational curses, you know, how your parents was raised, and maintaining those relationships, dating, and all those different kind of things, and how it affects like an entrepreneur. And a fintech startup that I just started working on.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so trying to stay busy.
I don't think you're trying. I think you are. And also making time for self and for family and all that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely on
the stuff that really,
the wellness.
Really matters.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, look, let folks know where they can find you at, follow you at, as well as American Dreaming.
Right, AmericanDreaming.co on Instagram. AmericanDreaming.co is the website, and my personal page is Branding Davis.
Okay, I like to play on words there. Branding, because that's what you be out here doing, branding, folks. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me in the lounge. All right, loves, taking a quick break, but when we come back on the other side, I am going to welcome my next guest, final guest of the evening, Donnie Manziel and Malcolm Hill. They are friends who are also creators of the podcast Disrespectful Motivators, and they're on a mission to help you stop BSing and be great. So that's their words, not mine. But so we're going to chat a bit about that. And shout out to all the folks that are tuned in over on Word TV. That's Facebook Live for those who may not know. Follow us there, tune in there, all that good stuff. And I'm also live over on Instagram at Sincerely Sarita. So you can catch me there. And of course, we're streaming live on wordradio.com in the free Word app, available in the Apple app and Google Play Store. So stay tuned in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. Be back after these messages.
If you want to start your morning with mindfulness, motivation, and inspiration, tune in to Daybreak with me, Halana, here on WURD Radio, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. I'm a health and wellness coach with over 15 years experience helping people to transform their lives. On the show, we talk health and wellness 360, from getting your mind right to getting your money right. So let's rise and shine together right here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial on Daybreak every morning.
Celebrate the life and legacy of jazz icon Art Blakey on November 16th with Messenger Legacy. The Annenberg Center brings together multiple generations from the Jazz Messenger's 200-plus alumni to pay tribute to Art Blakey and the jazz legacy he created. Led by drummer Ralph Peterson and featuring Bobby Watson, SCA, Brian Lynch, Bill Pierce, and Zakai Curtis. See Messenger Legacy on November 16th at the Annenberg Center. Get tickets at annenbergcenter.org.
Need a new mattress? Stop by to see Julian, the Mattress Man, located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best prices on name brand mattresses like Sealy, Posturepedic. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Listen up, Word family. This month we have a really exciting membership offer. If you start or renew your 4Word membership during the month of November, you will get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book, She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. We featured the author, noted historian and scholar, Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, on our Struggle in Progress panel earlier this month. This is a unique opportunity to support independent Black media and learn about the life and times of one of our greatest leaders. Join the 4Word movement today and get your free copy of She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. For more information, go to wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
Drive in with Solomon Jones. Drive home with Charles Ellison. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Philadelphia, independent Black media. Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at 4Word. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just killed cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again, the sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use it. Your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker did inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitched, heritage inside your DNA. Backbone don't exist, born on side a jellyfish I gauge. See my pedigree, most definitely don't tolerate the front. I been through probably offend you, this is Paula's oldest son. I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers dead with kids and I wish I was fed. Forgiveness, yeah. Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in second grade. When I was 9, on sale motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I've done so well, hit cartwheel in my estate. And I'm gon' shine like I'm supposed to, antisocial extrovert. And excellent meaning extra work. And absentness, what the fuck you hurt. And passiveness never struck my nerve. And that's a riff gonna plead this case. The reason my power's here on earth. Salute the truth when the prophet said. DNA. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA.
This is why I say that hip-hop has done more damage to young African Americans than racism.
I got royalty inside my DNA. This is my heritage, all I'm inheriting. Money and power, the maker emeritus. Tell me something, you mother can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation, your DNA an abomination. This how it is when you in the matrix, dodging bullets, reaping what you're sowing, stacking up the footage, living on the go and sleeping in the villa, sipping from a Grammy, walking in the building, diamond in the ceiling, marble on the floors, beaches out the window, peeking out the window, baby in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord.
This is Kyle Ingram from Peyote Vision. Shout out to Jay Brown and DJ Ideal Boyfriend, and you are listening to The Lounge on WURD.
Watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, phone never own, I don't conversate, I don't compromise, I just penetrate, sex, money, murder, these are the breaks, these are the times, level number 9, look up in the sky, tennis on the way, sentence on the way, kidness on the way, motherfucker, I got winners on the way, you ain't without a buddy on your belt, you ain't without a ticket on your plate, you ain't sick enough to put it on yourself, you ain't rich enough to hit the ladder skate, tell me when destruction gonna be my fate, gonna be a fate, gonna be a fate, peace to the world, let it rotate, sex, money, murder, DNA.
That's Kendrick Lamar with DNA. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. Really quickly, once again, happy Veterans Day to all of the vets out there. Appreciate your sacrifice and your service to our country. Not only your sacrifice and service, but that of your loved ones as well. So, just from the lounge, happy Veterans Day to you all, and thank you. It's the top of the week, so we talk that money, motivation, and the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men, otherwise known as Man Crush Monday. So shout out to all the men out there getting it done in these streets, from the block to the boardrooms. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you, right? And I'm about to welcome my final guest of the evening, but real quick, we like to be the plug here in the lounge when we can be the plug, and this is an opportunity. So the Universal Circus box office opens at Fairmount Park on next Wednesday, I think it is. No, it's this Wednesday. And Word is hooking you up with discounted tickets for various shows. So the circus runs from Thursday, November 14th through December 8th. And if you say you want the Word Hot Deal, quote unquote Word Hot Deal, you got to say that you want the Word Hot Deal, you will be able to purchase discounted tickets while supplies last. The circus, again, opens on Thursday, November 14th at Fairmount Park. All right. And all I'm going to say is tune in throughout this week, because it might be a giveaway of some sort, or a few. Wink, wink. Okay, so just make sure you tune in, and shout out to the folks over at Universal Circus. All right. So got all that out the way, right? Told y'all a little bit earlier in the show about the Forward membership special that we have going on. If you start to renew your membership, you will receive a free copy of a book about the life and times of Harriet Tubman. Film is out. It's causing a lot of discussion, a lot of debates, all of that good stuff. Well, now you'll have an opportunity to witness the art and also learn more about the reality, right? So you can visit WURDradio.com to learn more about membership and how you can make that happen. Also, question of the day. I want to know, what's your motivational message or quote for us this week? What song are you listening to keep yourself inspired? We got to pour into each other. So call in, let me know, what's your motivational message for this week? 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. All right. Now for my guests. Donnie, tell me if I'm saying your last name right. Manziel?
Manziel, yes.
Manziel. Okay, so Donnie Manziel and Malcolm Hill, they're friends of the podcast, and they're also creators of the podcast, Disrespectful Motivators.
Yes.
On a mission to help you stop BSing. Now, they'll say the whole word on the podcast, but I can't say it out on here. But I would if I could. To help you stop BSing and be great. So, fellas, welcome to the lounge.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate this a lot.
Of course. So, first of all, I love the tagline for the show, because I have a potty mouth. So when I was listening, I was like, my guy. But I also had to let them know, we can't cuss on air. So you guys.
Yeah. We may say 5 words.
So let folks know in your own words who you both are and what you each do.
Donnie Manziel. I'm just a motivator. Like, I love to inspire. I love to help.
Yeah.
I go around to different. Well, I did go around to different schools or, just different events, just trying to motivate people and motivate the young future, the kids. Family man, ain't really too much. Like, I just stay to myself, and whatever I can do to help push our culture forward, whatever I can do to inspire, whatever I can do to make people, feel good, feel joyful, feel happy, that's what I'm gonna do.
Gotcha.
Okay. That was
Yeah, let's see if you can
kind
keep
of
up
hard to
with that.
follow with that. You
Can't
know?
follow that.
I can. Okay, so listen, I'm Malcolm Hill. I'm a father of two.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I'm a strong man.
I wish I had kids to say that.
You can't. So I'm just out here. I'm not the motivating type, but I'm more of the disrespectful side of the disrespectful motivators, I would say. Donnie got the whole motivation down packed. I'm just trying to add on to that. You know? Try to
give
a little backpack.
Yeah, we balance each other out great.
Yeah, the great balance. Artistic, and that's just it.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Okay, so you got the early part of the bunch. I have two daughters, 10 years old and 14 years old. So yeah, starting to get on the other side.
How you get up to that? How is it?
It's blessed. It's a journey. One thing I'll say about parenthood is the longer you're in it, the more you start to see yourself. And in some cases, that can be a scary thing. Like when you really start, because your kids, they see you like nobody else will ever really see you.
Right.
And there's things that they can call out in you that, there's some validity to what they can see in you. And there's a degree of what they see that you're responsible for. So for me, that's been the beauty and the challenge of it. Right. It's like the more that they grow up, the more they become a mirror for me. And I realize they have really become a motivating factor for me wanting to heal myself. You know what I mean? Wanting to go after those dreams or whatever else the case may be, because I'm literally like showing them what is and isn't possible. So like there is that motivating factor where they push me to another level.
Right.
But there's also times where I'm like, no, I'm over this. Like, not today, Satan, not today.
It was like we were just talking about that. I was young when I had my son. I'm still young today, but I was young when I had my first son. So everything he do, I just see myself in him. So it's not that far apart. And like you said, when they keep growing, they keep growing, and you just trying to find out what kind of parent you're really going to be. 'Cause I'm still young, so I'm still trying to find my way on life. So trying to instill like the good values that I have now, but everything he do is new. So I'm the 6-year-old is
like,
new.
What is this about?
I don't know what you're doing right here. I know what my 1-year-old doing, but what me and my my 6-year-old partner is like growing. So we trying to figure each other out.
And the first one is there's a certain kind of bond with your first child. How old were you when you had your
I was 18.
Okay. I got pregnant at 16, had my daughter at 17. So young parent as well. And I can definitely speak to the challenge of you going through a process of learning and unlearning, but also having to teach, and, like as you're doing that.
Right. That's a lot.
What is most difficult?
Kudos to y'all.
It's so because then you have those moments like where you may look at your parent and think they're a hypocrite, and really it's like I'm in this weird space of trying to like wanting you to be better than I am, but then also like accepting what I really am and like trying to work on growing and changing the things that need to change. So it's a journey.
I can't wait till I get there one day.
Yeah, listen,
I'll just look at all
take
your
time. Take your time. Take your time.
I'll look at all your mistakes, Malcolm.
It's all in due time. But no, so I of course was like doing some poking around and learning a little bit more about you fellas. And Donnie, I think I recall seeing that this podcast was kind of your idea. Like this was your baby. And tell us how we got to this point of you having this idea. This dream of like, I think I want to do this podcast, and then how Malcolm came into play with this.
Okay, so I've I've always been a creator.
Mhm.
Like, I've done a lot of things. My last project, I used to do something called Manziel Monday.
Mhm.
And every Monday I would post an interview with a different entrepreneur,
Mhm.
NFL athlete, NBA athlete, or just interview with people that's doing what they love.
Yeah.
So then I stopped that for a while. And people always been telling me, especially the close one around me, like, yo, you need to be on radio, you need to start a podcast, something like that, because my personality and I'm so energetic. So I played around a long time, but then one day I'm like, you know what? I went to Staples, brought an ideas book, and just started jotting down all these ideas. And then podcast came up, and I said, well, do I want to do it by myself, or do I want to bring people along? So when I was going through my phone and looking at all my friends and the people I'm close to, everyone in my phone was like, nah, it wouldn't work. To me, I'm like, it wouldn't work because people feel like they got to hold up this certain brand or like put this certain image on. But when I hit Malcolm, it's like he's always been himself since I've known him. Like, always been unfiltered like me. Me and him can have a lot of arguments, disagreements and all that, and talk a little crazy to each other, but at the end of the day, it's all love, though. So we don't never take nothing personal. We don't never, take it to the extreme. So I was like, Malcolm be the perfect person. So when I called him, told him the idea, told him the vision, told him the plan, he was down. He was down from the rip. So it wasn't too much talking after that. Then we just planned.
So what was the idea? What was the vision? And for you, Malcolm, what sold you on it? Like, what made you say, all right, yeah, I'm going to come on board for that?
Right. Me and Don in maybe like 2015, I would say, like 2015, we was working together. We just always had strong debates about just countless of things. So, and we always used to have conversation about future times of working together, being at the top of whatever we was going to be doing. Didn't really know what direction we was heading into, but we knew we was going to be something.
Right.
We knew we was going to work with each other eventually. So I knew Don was a hard worker. When he put his mind to something, he'll really do it. And I'm not going into something that's not going to be giving the same energy I'm giving with it. So I knew Don was going to give out the most energy he could, and I was going to match it. So.
So what's the journey been like for you all now that you're doing the podcast? You're in it. Like,
it's been a funny learning experience with both of us.
How so?
So I was just telling them just now in the car on our way here. It's like I've been learning a lot of his strengths and his weaknesses as much as he's been learning my strengths and weaknesses. So as this podcast been going, it's like, okay, I know I'm good at X, Y, and Z, so let me handle this. But then I know he's good at this, that, and third, so let him do that. So it's been very interesting. Like we ain't even have any disagreements. So far, we've been the same. Like so far, it's probably gonna get there. It's gonna get there for sure. But our vision is basically the same. We feel so strong about our culture. We feel so strong about the future. All we want is to succeed, and all we want is to, push this thing ahead. Yeah. So even if we have little disagreements, it's still all right. We know what the bigger picture is. We know what's important. So we come together and make sure, it works.
Well said.
What would you say at this point, and this is for each of you, is the other person's shining strength? And then one of the polish points, we'll say, now I don't want to say weaknesses, but one of the polish points
I'm interested to see what
that came out, specifically as a result of
it.
y'all working together on this podcast. So
Malcolm's strongest point is, again, being himself, and voicing his opinion.
Yeah.
Like, Malcolm is not going to hold anything back. Like, if you don't, when we did this past podcast, I said something on the podcast, and it's crazy how I actually didn't make the podcast, but I said something because we do Monday motivation. I do a Monday motivation before the episode starts. So I did my Monday motivation, and as soon as I was done, he was like, "No, delete that." Then I'm like, "What? I thought it was good." He said, "No, like delete it. Like, so it's like he stands his ground. I respect, and it's crazy because I'm like, no, I'm keeping it, and I kept it, but somehow it's deleted, and now it's not even on there.
Did Malcolm delete it?
No, it is funny as because I didn't even know it was deleted.
Right. So that's the strongest point.
So
being himself.
What's the point, a polished point that you didn't notice about him until y'all started working together on this podcast? So I know you refer to it as a weakness, but like that polished point where once y'all started working on the podcast.
Be careful what you say, brother. Say that.
I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to.
I guess. Well, all right. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. When Malcolm doesn't want to do, and this go back to his strength, and weakness. When he don't want to do something, or when he's not interested in a certain thing we probably have to do, he won't do it. Like he'll say, "Okay, I won't do it," but it's cool because I understand him, so I'm not mad because again I know his weaknesses and strong points. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, man. But yeah, he definitely. I've told him a few things to do a lot, but I'm like, I already knew he wasn't gonna do it, so I still did it, and like just waited for him to not accomplish the task.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
He's my guy though.
9 strong points. He has so many. He has a lot of strong points. I can say he's well more rounded with conversation, smooth conversations. Like even here sitting on this radio station, you can hear it in his voice. Like he can talk. He can talk the talk. He can walk the walk with it. I mean, he can. He just brings a lot. He just brings a lot. I can't really pinpoint exactly what it could like what it is, but. He brings a lot. That's all I can say.
I like what you did there.
Yeah,
I like what you did.
Yeah, I mean, he brings a lot.
What would be his polish points?
His polish points.
Just one.
Just one? Okay. So yeah, I can what can you polish up, bro? Like, can I think about it? Like, let me think about it. Yeah,
I was just curious, to know.
So basically, he don't think I have any weaknesses. So
he said you're that guy.
Yeah, you the boy.
I love him, man. That's my brother. That's my brother.
I like what you bring. I like the Donnie. I like Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Donnie, man. So
no, but I mean, like I asked that question because I've worked and built dreams with a lot of my friends, and we had our friendship. But I knew for certain, and I think we all started seeing it, like when we would work together, just figuring out how to work together.
Right.
Like, it's one thing to be friends with a personality, but it's another thing to work with that personality, right? And learning what personality needs to be positioned where for the thing to work, like for the dream to grow and stuff like that. And some of those friendships made it, and some of those friendships, I stepped back and I was like, I don't know that was really a friendship, right? Like, but there was still value in it nonetheless. But it wasn't until we stepped into that new space that it was like I kind of see you with fresh eyes, and we're learning each other in a different way. So I'm always curious for folks who are building together, especially with people that they're close with on a personal level, what that experience is like with them. Because the Black community, they say don't do business with friends and family. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that belief.
And I feel the great thing with us is we're so transparent with each other.
Yeah.
And I feel that's the biggest problem. There's always like hidden agendas or something may happen that may make you upset. But instead of you saying what happened, like instead of you expressing your emotions right there, you hold it in. So now it's keep building everything they do. But like I said, me and him, transparent. So I love him, brother. Sometimes I don't like what he do or whatever, but I don't take it in or take it personal.
I'm pretty sure we don't like each other.
Yeah, we don't like each other.
Most of the time, we don't like each other.
I want people to know that we do not like each other.
We don't like each other all the time.
But we love. That's my brother. Though. That's my brother to the end. Like we experienced a lot, especially working with each other at the hotel. Like we've been through some things. So like that's my brother to the end.
And naming some disrespectful motivators, we be coming at each other. Real crazy.
Y'all should see the arguments off camera. Like, crazy.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back on the other side, we're going to learn a little bit more about disrespectful motivators, because the title itself even caught my eye, and I'm like, what is disrespectful motivation? And then it made me think about like, I guess, in our group chats or just our one-on-one phone calls that I have with my friends, like the way that we motivate each other is not necessarily the way that I motivate the world.
Right.
I may not have the same delivery, and I'm like,
Right.
I wonder if it's along that line. So definitely want to learn you all's idea or take on what disrespectful motivation is, and why you felt like including that disrespectful part was important, like to the vision and what you all were trying to accomplish. And then, of course, we'll keep it moving from there. But, loves, stay tuned. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Get your money straight.
Get my money right.
With Solomon Jones and Akbar Hassan.
Fridays on Wake Up with Word.
7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Hosted by Solomon Jones. Exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Listen live at wordradio.com.
Word family, listen up. Tuesday, November 12th, join Word for Sassy Seniors. Broadcasting live from the West Oak Lane Senior Center located at 7208 Ogontz Avenue. We're calling all our sassy seniors to come out and join me, Dr. Aaron Smith, the rapping professor, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sassy Seniors is an event honoring our seniors and providing fun, food, resources, information, and more. Halana Warren from Daybreak with Word will also be there with chair yoga and mindful meditation activities. Sponsored by Oak Street Health and United States Census. See you Tuesday, November 12th at the West Oak Lane Senior Center from 10 a.m. to noon. Sassy Seniors!
Keystone First, VIP Choice, HMO, S&P, and you are better together. If you live in Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties, and you have both Medicare and Medicaid, choose the Medicare plan that is working to help you experience better care and enjoy extra benefits at no cost to you. With Keystone First VIP Choice, you get more benefits like dental, vision, and transportation to and from your medical appointments. Keystone First VIP Choice also covers a fitness membership to a gym of your choice and $150 toward over-the-counter pharmacy items. There's no copay for doctor's visits. Keystone First VIP Choice offers a large provider network, a great prescription plan, dental coverage, and even eyeglasses. Plus, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. You can change your coverage every quarter. Keystone First VIP Choice. The name you trust, the service you deserve. Call Keystone First VIP Choice at 877-686-1760. Call today or visit KeystoneFirstVIPChoice.com.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
or on Facebook at ForWord.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Love to see you shine in the night like a diamond you are. I'm good on the side, it's alright. Just hold me in the dark. No one's gotta know what we do. Hit me up when you fall. Cause I live down the street, so we meet when you need and it's yours. All I is, and nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nah. We don't got high. This is what you like out of me. Nothing feels better than this. You say we're just friends, but I swear when nobody's around. Keep my hand around your neck, we connect. Are you feeling it now? Cause I am. I got so high that I swear to God, from my feet and lift the ground. Oh yeah, you're back against the wall. This is all we've been talking about. In my head, Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. I'm not. We don't got high. This is what you like. Gotta admit. Nothing feels better. Left eye. Take you back from your side to side. Like that, like that. No, left eye. Take you back from your side to side. Like nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than this.
Hey everybody, we're Kindred, the Family Soul, and you're listening to The Lounge on 900 AM
and 96.1 FM
WURD.
You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. That was Khalid with Better. It's Monday, top of the week. You know, we like to talk money, motivation, and the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men, aka Man Crush Monday. So shout out to all the men out there who are holding it down from the block to the boardrooms. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you. If you're just tuning in, I am chatting with two gentlemen who are creators of the podcast Disrespectful Motivators, Donnie and Malcolm. They're friends, but they're now also co-creators. And so it's just been cool getting to know them. I found out about them by way of Reed Moss. Shout out to Miss Moss Moves Media.
Shout out to Moss.
If you all saw back in, when did we do that? In March, I think. That's when we dropped it. If you saw the announcement video, the promo video for the lounge, when we had Keaton, you know Keaton D. Nichols, he is the creator and original host of the lounge. It was him. It was Envy McKee, who now has her own show, the Envy McKee Show, which airs on Fridays, 7 to 10 p.m., so make sure you tune in for that. And myself. And it was basically Keaton passing the torch on to us. And Miss Moss Moves Media captured that whole promo. We got a lot of love off of that promo. Folks sharing that. It was just super dope. So shout out to her. But in following her, that's how I came across Disrespectful Motivators. And I was like, okay, I see they just dropped season 2. Let me go check them out, see what they're about. There's definitely energy there. There's this vibe that they share. And I think what really caught my eye was that they're young black men. When I think about what we're seeing happening in Philly specifically with young black men, I want us to be very intentional about getting perspectives of young black men. And so to know that we have these young black men here who are focused on being motivators and shaping the culture, owning their space and place on this earth. It was like, all right, I want to get to know these guys. I want to talk to them. Never met them before. This is our first time sitting down. So appreciate both of y'all being here.
No, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
So prior to break, I was talking about this idea of disrespectful motivation and what that means. So how did you all even come up with the title of this podcast, and what do you mean by disrespectful motivation?
At first we had a different name. I ain't even gonna say the other name we had. So me and Malcolm was just trying to bounce new names off each other. Mm-hmm. And I truly don't know what hit me. I really don't even know what thought even gave it to me. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, yo, Disrespectful Motivators. Then he said, I texted him that, and then he called me, and he said, that's it. Gotcha. So I was like, of course, we're here to inspire, motivate, but we get called, like I said, disrespectful a lot of times because we unfiltered. Mm. And instead of beating around the bush or trying to sugarcoat things, especially for people in our community, we gotta be straightforward, and we gotta be aggressive a little bit with it, because this world is already out against us, and a lot of different things are out against us. So we gotta be able to fight back and make sure we strong.
That's really good.
That's really good stuff. That's really good stuff. So Donnie, you mentioned something about your grandma, something your grandma taught you.
Yes.
about expressing yourself, and what was that? Because it seems like that also was a seed that has now kind of bore fruit with disrespectful motivators.
Yeah, for sure. My grandma told me to always express yourself. Whatever you're feeling inside, let it out, and don't filter it. Don't try to, make sure someone else's feelings are okay. No, whatever it is that you're feeling, get it out. So she even said to me at times, if you angry or whatever, if you even got a curse, she was like, it's not cursing at her or disrespecting her, but just getting that out, because you don't want to hold any of those emotions in. You don't want to hold that anger in. You don't want to hold that hurt in. So she always told me, if you got to cry, cry. If you got to, yell, yell, do whatever it is. So.
Gotcha. So I saw a post where you talked about or touched a bit on your healing process.
Yes.
And mentioned, if I'm recalling correctly, many folks in the culture and within your generation experiencing some form of PTSD.
Right.
And so for you, talk a bit about your healing journey and what has played a part in you, becoming who you are today.
Well, the main thing is therapy. I have a life. She hate when I call her a therapist because she's a life coach. Her name's Zakia Fatten. Yeah, she say it all the time. It's a big difference. I was just with her yesterday, so y'all can definitely go check her out at Zakia_Fatten. But over a year ago, I was just going through so much emotionally, and I didn't know how to get it out. I didn't know how to heal. I didn't know how to heal, and I feel that's a huge problem in our community. We don't know how to properly heal. So I had a long conversation with my godmom, and it's crazy because she was just leaving to go overseas, but we sat and talked, and she was like, look, I got somebody I want you to talk to. So then she linked me up with Zakia. Then from there, the healing process has been incredible. I'm still healing to this day, and I still go through things, but she helped me understand who I am, and she helped me understand why I do the things I do, why I felt the way that I felt, why. So she helped me understand so much, and I feel that's the biggest key is understanding and, taking accountability and, taking control over your life.
It's so crazy that you just worded that exactly how you worded that. I facilitate life skill classes at 2 different schools currently. And I start the class off from jump, and they hear me say it throughout the course of the semester or whatever, the school year, that if you don't take the time to learn yourself, to learn why you do the things you do, why you think the way you think, why you act the way you act, if you don't take the time to figure that out and somebody else does or the world does, you put yourself in a compromising situation, right? That's when you can start to experience the kind of pain that's tied to manipulation, that's tied to, feelings of being lost, of not knowing who you are. Because if you're not putting your time into you, right, and really getting to learn you, how are you going to actually be able to become you? And walk in who you are. So it's just so crazy to hear you, because that's literally how I word it every day, that I say that in class, and to hear you share it in such a way. Yeah,
because I was actually just with her yesterday, and she say the same, because
I gotta meet her. I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah, definitely. My biggest thing, I want to push therapy and healing and life coach to everybody in our community, because it's such a bad stigma in the urban community about therapy. I've heard people say all the time, well, I ain't crazy, I don't need therapists or whatever, but that's not the case. I feel like every person in the world needs it. Even if you feel like you're happy, you still need somebody to talk to, you still need somebody to release to that's an unbiased opinion. And my main thing, even with the podcast, is in motivating people and inspiring people. I know a lot of these inspirational speakers, it seems like their life is perfect. And they got through it all, and now they're here to save you. But with me, I still go through it every day, and I'm here to show y'all the process with going through it. I'm still with you. You hurting, you in pain. I still feel the same things. Let's get through this together, instead of it looking like I'm on top and just trying to say things.
So Malcolm, I can't remember which episode it was, but at one point, I want to say you indirectly spoke about how you cope, how you cope with life, I think y'all was talking about sipping or something like that, like drinks or something.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned a bit of like, to me, what I internalized or heard it as was like coping. Like, this is how I'm one of the ways that I, you know what I mean, like deal with things in my life. And I know as a young parent to another young parent, like, how has it been for you, especially as a young black man, since 1994? That's his Instagram, since SINCE.994. But since 1994, like, being young, being a parent, being a black man, like, what's your experience like? How do you deal with those different realities and your own healing?
It's more like self-healing. Sorry. I come from a family with seven brothers and sisters, 7 of us. And the life wasn't easy. We always had to go through struggles. We always, like a typical story from the streets and hoods and all that. It's just growing up, I always had my brothers and my sisters telling me, like, what's better. Like, it's more than life than just sitting around here seeing the guys on the corner doing this stupid stuff. And
ooh, look at you! Yes.
Doing all this stupid stuff.
I'm proud of you. That was clutch.
That was good. Doing a lot of stupid things out here. And, just trying to find my own way. Like, I always knew who I was, like, from day one. It was just more of finding out who I be, like, where do I go next? Like, is the next level for me. So if I see myself, like, stagnant, doing the same things, I just want to find out what is it for me next. And being a parent, I feel as though I can't be too much of the same person. Like, when I'm 20, since I had my child young, 18, I can't be the same guy from 18 to 30 or 40. So I was always trying to learn, trying to set myself right. Like, so I don't have, like, a therapist for, like, I just do my own self-reflecting multiple times a year. for real.
Check in with myself once a quarter, see where I'm at.
See where I'm at with it. And I see the results of my kids, so
yeah,
I'm doing pretty good.
So there's a lot going on. I was just talking to Brandon Davis of American Dreaming about this. You know what I mean? Like, wanting to make sure the perspectives of young black men are definitely included in this conversation, this devastation that's going on in Philly right now around gun violence. And given that you all are, you know what I mean, on the younger side of the generation, like, I don't know, what's your thoughts on this? Like, especially knowing that y'all are really into some positive stuff, you know what I mean, like motivating folks and wanting to change the world and think about the culture, but like everybody not in that space. You know what I mean? So how do you all, like, walk that line, pivot that point of, like, being young and black and a man and all that, but then also, you know, thinking long term and thinking about the culture and thinking about the bigger picture, and then dealing with the reality of, like, what's happening to other young people out here in these streets as a result of gun violence.
So I see, like, it'd be, like, for me, it could just be like one point in your life could just go wrong. Like, you could just make a decision of, should I go to this side of dark and violence, or could I just try to move away from it? Like, it's peer pressure, like, all them things can tie into
babies. And what I can say is I've been blessed to experience certain things at a young age that most people from my neighborhood wasn't. So I look at the world different. Like, I've traveled the world. I've met a lot of people outside of my neighborhood. And that's where I see a big problem is, because all a lot of these dudes, you know is the streets, and that's it, nothing else. So I don't blame them because they don't know any better. So I feel like it's our job, especially as disrespectful motivators, is to inform, is to show, you can be whatever it is you want to be out here. I don't care if you want to be basketball player or you want to be a janitor. Like, you can be the best janitor on the planet, but you can do something and be positive and just I'm walking this line so we can be the light. So even if I can't talk to you and make you feel what I'm saying, you see by my actions, like, wow, okay, he did X, Y, and Z, and look how his life is turning out. So when I'm doing this, and my life is going this way. So all we can do is, you know, keep talking and, you know, just, like I said, keep being that positive light, and hopefully they follow.
Got you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, do some shameless plugs. Let folks know, like, where to find y'all at, follow you at, all that good stuff. Okay.
Cool.
All right, love, stay tuned. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters!
Don't miss The Source.
Weekdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
On Word Radio.
WordRadio.com and the Word Radio app.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. Therapy counseling could be annoying, complicated. Sometimes we may feel stuck, overworked, frustrated, want to do and feel good right now. We want quick answers to everyday problems. Think of one good thing that has happened in your life. Think of someone who has helped you along life's path. Reverend Donald King says, take a minute and include God in it. Haraya Bay says, don't hit your children. Sakari Rhodes, in her own way, says, feed the lambs and the sheep. Tyrone Smith says, no matter what, keep the faith. Come on now. Be at peace and happy Thanksgiving to one and all. It's November.
Feels like heaven. Heaven when you've been blessed. Feels like heaven. Heaven when you.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875.
Or visit wordradio.com.
Word TV.
We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
Yo, it's Julian King, and you listen to The Lounge on Word Radio.
No. Here she come looking like a bag of diamonds. Can't help but stare, can't help but smile. Ooh, I got the baddest girl on the East Coast, looking like $1,000,000 from the East Coast. I know she bad. Oh. Call her shooting star on the East Coast. Every time she shine, I don't see down, I go blind, 'cause damn, she's so fine. Can you believe she's mine? Hard to believe she's mine. And all I do is show her to the world. I don't need no other girl, 'cause see, she's mine. Ooh, can't believe she's mine. Look at how she walking my way. She's stuck in my bed. When we be alone, she can put on a show like it's up to Soleil. I know you mad that she mine. She don't want no other guy. My chick, no, she the shit. I let her know all the time. Ooh, I got the baddest girl on the East Coast, looking like $1,000,000 on the East Coast. I know she bad. Oh. Call her shooting star on the East Coast. Every time she shine, I don't see down, I go blind, 'cause damn, she's so fine. Can you believe she's mine?
You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. Shout out to Julian King for into the show. That was mine. So listen, y'all know we put the question of the day out there, which is, you know, what's your motivational message or quote for us this week? And I want to shout out real Jackie Robinson. She said, "Positivity excels best without the BS." Positivity excels best without the BS. I'm a co-sign that. I agree as much as you can. Keep that at bay. Keep that over there, you know. Talking with two gentlemen, Donnie and Malcolm, who are actually on a mission to help you stop BSing. And be great. And they're doing that via their podcast, Disrespectful Motivators. And we got to get ready to get out of here. But, fellas, I wanted to make sure that we touched a bit. Like, did we cover as much as you would hope to have let folks know about you, about the podcast?
Yeah.
Look, I think that's it. I cannot. I will say, you know, having listened to a few episodes, it's not for everybody. Like,
oh no, it's not.
If your ears are sensitive, you know, to colorful language, you know, and expression in that way, this might not be for you. Like, this is for folks who, at least in my opinion, folks who really just, you want the message. Like, bro, let's have a real conversation about this. Like, let's address some real topics. And you all have, from what I've seen, you've addressed a plethora of topics. Family matters. There's like relationship, dating stuff. There's sexual health stuff. There's
that was a good episode.
It's like touching on a lot. So I don't know. I think it's really dope. And I know you're still, sounds like early on in building the podcast out.
Yeah, we just, our first episode was in June 15th. Yeah, June 15th episode. We super new to all this. You know, we didn't even know the right things to buy. The funny thing, it took us 2 months to even hook up the microphones and how to work it properly.
Like, behind the scenes.
The behind the scenes was crazy, but yeah, we new to it, but we rolling. We're not gonna stop.
Because I'm thinking about the picture I saw, but y'all got like a whole setup now. You got lights and all of this stuff.
Yeah, and if y'all would have seen the very first one, that took a lot of time. A lot of time.
We didn't have lights the first time we started.
Right.
We just had microphones.
That's a lot of growth since June, though.
Yeah, a lot of growth. And then this break, because after the first season, we took a break. I told the people we was going to take 2 weeks off. We wound up taking like 6. But we came back because we were only on SoundCloud at first. Because we was trying to do the video on our own and we couldn't edit it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, now we everywhere.
Yeah.
They never did, but y'all should be there. So you let them know where they can find you all at. You know what I mean? Follow you at the show, all of that good stuff.
Come on, Donnie.
Yeah, come on. You want me to run it down?
Come on now.
Oh, okay, my bad. You can go follow us on Instagram at disrespectful.motivators. You can follow us on Twitter at the letter D Motivators 94. All streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, SoundCloud. Subscribe to our YouTube page, Disrespectful Motivators. And we like on 3 other platforms. I don't even remember the name. Like, we all over the place at this point. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Once you find
them on social, you can
once you find them
to everything else.
But definitely, we've been getting a lot lately saying the experience on YouTube is much better than just the audio. So definitely go subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out. Laugh at us. You know, get motivated by us.
So in some ways, like, nothing beats seeing reactions that you all have to each other or like to topics or whatever. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, because everything's natural with us. Yeah. We don't script anything, and we don't cut out anything. So it's whatever reactions you get.
Except for that opening Motivation Monday.
I don't know. That was accident. Reed said the universe deleted that one, so I guess Malcolm was right for that Monday motivation.
I'm 50-50.
Yeah, but 50-50. And then you can go follow me on Instagram at Donnie Manziel _.
Spell your last name.
And put yours. At Donnie Manziel, DONNIE Manziel, MANZIEL _ And you can go.
Plug me in.
Plug
Plug me
Malcolm
in.
in. You sure you want them to fuck? All right, cool. All right, and go follow Malcolm.
Yeah.
Go follow Malcolm at
The wonderful Malcolm.
Sense.994. SINCE.994. I know that is so difficult. I've been asking him if we can change it.
Manziel? Like, how is Manziel?
But I got it. My name is my name on there. You Sense 994.
But that's why I definitely said so.
Yes, but okay.
Come on now.
All right.
Just just something.
Yeah,
that's where we
you
at.
can smell sense. They can smell Manziel, though, right? Yeah, come on.
But
get me
with
out of it.
sense. If
All right,
I just said sense
Let
without spelling,
let me
they
go.
could have thought SENS.
Just so y'all know, this is exactly what you get on the podcast. It's just like this. No, but fellas, thank you so much for joining me in the lounge. And keep me updated on what y'all got going on.
Definitely will. We had so
follow.
much fun. We appreciate this a lot.
All right. All right, love. So listen, it's about time, just about time for me to get out of here. But I want to make sure I do some last minute plugs, right, so that you all know what's up, what's going on. So we got one on the membership front, and then we got one on a discount ticketed front, and then a teaser because we're going to be giving away tickets all throughout the week. So you need to make sure that you stay tuned. So first things first, this month, really exciting membership offer. If you start or renew your onWURD membership during the month of November, you will get a free copy of the new Harriet Tubman book. It's titled She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. Shout out to the author, noted historian and scholar, Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar. Look, you can visit WURDradio.com or call 215-425-7875. Again, 215-425-7875 to make sure that you either start or renew your membership. Also consider maybe gifting the membership for someone else. The holidays are coming up, right? So not only can you gift them with a membership, you also give them with a free book. I think that's a win-win situation if you ask me. But now, on a discounted ticket part, right? The Universal Circus box office opens at Fairmount Park this Wednesday, and we're hooking you up with discounted tickets for various shows. The circus is going to run this year from Thursday, November 14th through December 8th. And if you want a real nice discount, right, you need to make sure when you go get your tickets or when you call or whatever, you say you want the word hot deal, WURD hot deal, and you will be able to purchase discounted tickets while supplies last. All right, so shout out to the powers that be, you know what I mean, making that discount possible, and some giveaways that'll be happening throughout the week. Before we get out of here, again, happy Veterans Day. To all of the vets out there, we thank you and your loved ones for your sacrifices and service to our community. I want to thank all my guests for making tonight's show possible. Brandon Davis of American Dreamin', and of course Donnie Manziel and Malcolm Hill, creators of the podcast Disrespectful Motivators. If you haven't already, make sure you follow The Lounge across all platforms at The Lounge Word, and connect with me on IG or Facebook at Sincerely Sarita. Tomorrow is Artist Tuesday. So get those vocals, those bars, those poetic lines ready for open mic night. All you got to do is call in during the 7 p.m. hour. We give you your 30 seconds to shine, right? Like if you sing, if you rap, if you're a lyricist, if you're a poet, we give you this platform to get your free plugs, your shameless plugs out there. 7:30 p.m., DJ Geek is bringing us this week's Geek and Mix. Then at 7:45 p.m., Mad Ethnic Musings with Carmito. Okay, much love and appreciation to my guy DJ Frosty Phoenix for holding down the phone lines, the boards, and everything in between. Stay tuned, for a rebroadcast of all the shows that you might have missed today. We got a few pulled for you and ready. That'll air from starting at 10 p.m. and going on until 6 a.m. when you wake up with Halana. All right, so, and then of course on to Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones. But all that said now, I'm going to skitty pat on out of here. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, encouraging you to taste your words before you feed them to someone else, and reminding you to always, always, always empathize, empower, and evolve. Peace.
You're like the sweetest thing I know, like my favorite lonely song, and I need you really bad. Don't take me for granted, you'll be regretting it. Oh, I should be